Those moments for recovery are never accidents. Get a free review of your current policy. Call 877-FARM Bureau.
Discounts may vary by situation.
This has been Focus on Agriculture. I'm Gary Joyner, and we are the TFB Radio Network.
All right, here we go. Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
It's showtime.
All right, showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Hurry up.
Broadcasting live from the K-Best Studios in the Spring City. It's the morning show you wake up to hear. Gooney in the morning with Gooney.
It's hard to think of words in the morning.
And Heather.
And I'm dyslexic and ADD.
Yes.
Whoa.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That escalated quickly.
Are you ready?
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM. We're halfway through the week, folks. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 6:24 here at the K-Best Studios. Gooney here with you this morning, getting up and on your way to whatever you have to do today. We got Heather in the house.
Hey, guys.
You know, I always say up and on your way to work. And not everybody works. Some people are lucky.
I mean, grocery shopping, you could be washing your car. Well, I don't know if I'd wash my car this early.
Hey, some people around here do wash their cars at all hours of the night.
It's so hard to get motivated to work. I don't know if I could do anything other than that.
Yeah, well, it happens. Charles is going to be joining us here a little bit later.
Yep.
He had some stuff he had to take care of this morning.
Stuff.
He's a busy guy. He's very important, so we're going to let him take care of his stuff.
That's fine. Because my department depends on his department.
Yeah. And our department depends on his department.
Pretty much.
Pretty much everybody's department depends on Charles. That's what it comes at. Charles is in Charles. Charles in
charge. Oh, I get it.
Charles in charge.
Yeah.
And our days and our lives. And I see how I... Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I got to get that song. That way I can just start introducing him that way. But Alex wants us to mention the fact that he's walking around dancing because he's not going to stop staring at us till we do that.
I'm going to miss that.
I know. Man, it's going to be fun. We got a good show lined up for you today. Got a great show lined up for you today.
We sure do.
I got some cool stuff coming up. Got some great things coming up in the community this weekend, over the next couple weeks. Watched America's Got Talent last night. Got a lot to talk about there. Yeah, the voting round is finally up. So now it's kind of interesting because they got all the horrible people out of the way. Which, with that show, it's one of those that it's funny when the horrible people are involved.
Just like American Idol.
Yeah.
You know, like when you get the bad singers, that's probably the only reason why I watch the auditions, is to see, like, just why.
Right.
Why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the live voting started last night. We'll be talking about that here a little bit later on. We got the most entertaining city in the country coming up. You'll want to stay tuned to know what that is. Quit laughing. Quit laughing. You're going to give it away. Stop. Just stop. I know your little laugh will give the whole thing away.
Oh.
Quit being so sarcastic. You got to stop being so mean sometimes.
I'm not.
You're going to regret that. I'll tell you why later on. I can't tell you when you'll regret it, but because it'll give it away. It'll give it away. I wanted to keep bouncing around a teacher.
All right, we'll do
That's
that.
what we're going to keep doing. That's what we're going to do. Exactly what we're going to do. And we'll be giving away some more tickets to the Music and Madness concert that's going down next Thursday here in Big Spring First Baptist Church.
I love giving away tickets.
Mark Lowry, the Martins, Jason Crabb. We got some more tickets to that. Be sure to go to kbestmedia.com and sign up for the K-Best Club. You'll want to do that. Every day we'll be putting secret words up. You'll just go check out the secret word of the day when we ask you to call. If you're the first one to call in with the secret word of the day, we're going to get you hooked up with some tickets. And what's cool, if you keep up with the secret words over the next 7 days until the concert day next Thursday, then you'll have a chance to upgrade a couple of those tickets to gold tickets.
What?
Which is pretty cool.
I love giving away tickets. That's like the best part about this job, probably.
Yeah, giving away stuff.
Yeah.
See, that's the best and the worst part of this job. Because it's awesome because you get to make someone happy and let them do something cool. But at the same time, you never get to do that.
You're ineligible.
It's so sad. It's all right, though. It's not that bad.
I felt like Eeyore there for a second.
Yeah? Oh. That makes my heart hurt a little bit.
Right here.
Well, there's some big news coming out of San Antonio, which I don't know how true this is or not, because this has been done before.
You're gullible.
But no, not necessarily that. It's just this has happened before. We've been through this. It's probably been several years since this happened last. But San Antonio is now a possible new location for the Oakland Raiders.
What?
Yeah, they're actually the owner Mark Davis. He and other team officials have actually met with like the mayor of San Antonio, city planners, stuff like that. Some big movers and shakers of San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like they've actually been reported. See, the Oakland's their contract expires next year with their stadium's lease there in Oakland, and here's why I don't fully buy into the fact that they might be moving the Raiders to San Antonio. And the reasoning is they've tried this before, and the Raiders need a new stadium. That's a big deal on their agenda. And I'm thinking that, and this is going around all over the league too, but Mark Davis may be just using this as a ploy to be like, hey, Oakland, you better step up your game or San Antonio is going to build us a new stadium. You know what I mean? So I think this is just their way of trying to get Oakland.
Like pushing it?
Yeah. Like, hey, if you don't build us a new stadium, we're out of here. I think that's what they're trying to do. So we're going to see a brand new stadium in Oakland over the next couple of years, or they may be the San Antonio Raiders. It's just doesn't flow.
It don't. It's the Oakland Raiders.
Which I like the team kind of fits San Antonio because, you got the Spurs, the black and silver Spurs, and you know what I mean? You get Oakland in there. It kind of matches. But it doesn't flow that well, the San Antonio Raiders. I don't know. Neither did the Los Angeles Raiders, and they did that.
Look at that.
Who knows?
The Los Angeles Raiders went back to Oakland.
Oh, we don't want you anymore. Go back.
Get out of here.
Get on out of here. Get on out of here. Oh, that's cool. Hey, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Who knows? Like I said, they got another year left on their lease. But we got a fun show lined up for you. Not going to want to go anywhere. We got some local news coming up with your newsman, Alex Huddleston, right here on KBST AM and FM.
DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry!
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like the S'mores Blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
Dare to compare. Dare to compare H-E-B low prices. H-E-B operates by a simple philosophy. H-E-B will have low prices in every aisle every single day compared to any store. Dare to compare. Not only that, but H-E-B on Great Street is a strong community supporter and is proud to be among those who donate to community events right here in Big Spring. H-E-B. Dare to compare.
With the news you need, when you need it. Howard County's news leader, your K-Best Radio Group News.
Good morning. This is Alex Huddleston with your K-Best Radio Group News for Wednesday, July 30th. KBS News time is 6:31 a.m. It is currently 78 degrees here at the KBS studios. We'll have your Pinpoint 7 weather forecast coming up in just a moment. But first, in addition to the fire yesterday, which destroyed the First Baptist Church of Sand Springs, another building suffered some serious damage yesterday as well. However, this was more of a welcome event than a tragedy. Demolition began yesterday on the Old Furs Cafeteria near Walmart at the corner of FM 787. The building is being leveled to make way for new construction, a shopping center being built by White Oak Development. Construction was supposed to begin earlier this year, but CEO Jeff Farmer did add in an interview months ago that it could have been pushed back a bit.
That's slated to be started late May, and just understanding the delays happen with construction schedules, I would not be surprised for that to push back into June.
The demolition is now underway, and as soon as the building is cleared away, the shops can go in.
We have Route 21, we have AT&T, we've got a nail salon, and we have a couple of other tenants. One is a restaurant that would be opening, another location that is currently open in Midland, and a couple of other tenants.
White Oak Development is also planning a rental development in Kentwood. No word has been given on whether that is still on schedule or is also experiencing delays. Workforce Solutions of West Central Texas, located in Snyder, has received some incredible news. As part of a $5 million grant for various Texas workforce agencies, the Scurry County location will be given almost $500,000. The program, which is set to be implemented with this money, is planned to assist the unemployed with honing their job skills. Participants in the newly funded project will attend a 2-week employability boot camp. After graduation, they will then be placed in on-the-job training or be given a 6-week subsidized internship. For more information about this grant or the boot camp project, you can contact Workforce Solutions of West Central Texas by calling 325-574-1739. And don't forget, the United Way of Big Spring in Howard County has announced a new project for this year, their first ever cookbook. They've already begun planning for a special event in October, 70 bites across Howard County. And at the end, they will unveil the new cookbook. The event is in conjunction with the Heritage Museum of Big Spring, and almost 500 recipes from United Way board members, member agencies, and family and friends will be contained within the book. In addition, they have announced that this event will also be an opportunity for local restaurants to show off their best recipes. Anyone interested in being a part of this celebration can contact Tammy Schreckengost at the Heritage Museum or just stop by 510 Scurry and pick up an entry form. In obituaries, Lucille Lou Norris, aged 82, of Big Spring, died Sunday in a local nursing home. Funeral services are being planned for 10 a.m. this morning at Midway Baptist Church. Interment will then follow at Trinity Memorial Park. Arrangements are under the direction of Nally Pickle & Welch Funeral Home. And speaking of, this portion of your news this morning has been brought to you thanks to Nally Pickle & Welch Funeral Home. We'll return in just a moment with more news, sports, and your Pinpoint 7 weather forecast right after this.
Hi, I'm Casey Welch Baker. Do you know how much a funeral costs? If you're like most people, you don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. And if you're like most people, you like to pay the least and get the most. That's where we at Nally Pickle & Welch Funeral Home and Crematory can help. We offer the best for less. My dad, Tommy Welch, is all about saving families money, and we are all about giving them the very best service. Nally Pickle & Welch, serving the West Texas area for over 80 years.
Welcome back. KBST News Time is 6:36 a.m. The Crossroads Young Marines are preparing for another boot camp. The 4th boot camp of the year is just weeks away, and sign-ups are available now. More information as well as enrollment packets can be found on their website, crossroadsym.org, or you can contact Carrie Rodman at 432-517-4791. This weekend, the Heritage Museum is hosting a special reception and award ceremony. This is the culmination of their summer art classes, and completed art projects from those classes will be put on display. That is being held from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Heritage Museum this Saturday, August 2nd. In sports, in Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros both had heartbreaking games last night. The Rangers were edged out by the New York Yankees, and the Astros fell to the Oakland Athletics. This splits both of their 3-game series after both Texas teams had wins on Monday, and it means that tonight's game are rubber matches for both teams. The Rangers will play the Yankees at 7:05 p.m. You can tune in to the Mighty 1490 KBST AM for full coverage. And in minor league baseball, the Midland Rock Hounds are in the same boat as their major league counterparts. They, too, were defeated last night after a victory on Monday evening. The Rockhounds were defeated by their rivals, the Frisco Rough Riders. Final score 6-2 last night. This not only ties up their series, but the season as a whole, as both the Rockhounds and the Rough Riders are competing to be the #1 minor league team in the state. The conclusion of tonight's game will not only decide the series, but also decide who pulls ahead statewide. First pitch is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. In weather, today's high estimated at 101 degrees, tonight's low 70. Mostly sunny skies for the rest of this week. Do have a chance of seeing some precipitation, possibly in the form of showers, maybe even thunderstorms, and there is a cold front expected to blow in this evening, dropping tomorrow's high temperature down into the upper 80s. We could see this relatively cool weather last for as long as a week. KBST News time is 6:38 a.m. Coming up, we've got more Gooney in the morning. But first, look up and live here on KBST.
You know, it's not the outlook, but the uplook that counts. I heard that once somewhere. This is Reverend Carol Cole. I'm a member of Alive in Christ Lutheran Church, and it is my privilege to spend a couple minutes with you this morning as we look up and live. It seems that a 12-year-old boy was telling his friends at school how he had accepted Jesus as his Savior at the church service the previous Sunday. Well, his school friends questioned him about the experience. "Did you hear God talk?" one asked. "No," the boy said. "Did you have a vision?" another asked. "No," the boy replied. "Well, how did you know it was God?" a third friend asked. The boy thought for a moment, and then he said, "Well, it's like when you catch a fish. You can't see the fish or hear the fish. You can just feel him tugging at your line. I felt God tugging on my heart." Quite a theological answer, if you ask me. So often we try to figure out life by what we can see or hear or experience with our senses. We make calculated estimates and judgments based on empirical evidence. There's a level of truth, however, that cannot be perceived by the senses or measured objectively. It's at that level where faith comes in. It is our faith that compels us to believe, even when we cannot explain to others why or how or to what specific earthly end. By our faith, we only know in whom we trust, and after all, that is sufficient. The Bible says in Hebrews 12, "Look unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of your faith." Or as we said when I began this morning, it's not the outlook, but the uplook that really counts. This has been Reverend Carol Cole. I'm a member of Alive in Christ Lutheran Church. I appreciate the opportunity of spending this minute with you this morning.
This is your Action News reporter again at the scene of Back in Motion Chiropractic, where another amazing incident seems to have occurred. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened here at Back in Motion?
Yeah, I did. He looked like an ordinary man, but I believe he was a superhero. He took Ethel's head and adjusted her neck real gentle-like, and she came out a-smiling. Took her pain away in a flash. Come back here, Ethel!
There you have it. Pain has once again been eliminated at Back in Motion Chiropractic.
We'll save you money at Allen's Gallery of Furniture and Appliances. Your brand source. Lazy Boy, Ashley, Lane, Best, Sealy, Mayo, Hooker, and many more. Will not be undersold on the best selection and prices in the area. Allen's 202 Scurry, downtown Big Spring, will save you money. Wow!
Hi, I'm Kevin Knudsen, the new pastor at Life Church here in Big Spring. Life Church is an exciting, vibrant, and spirit-filled multicultural church on the corner of 10th and Johnson. We have been serving the families of our great city for nearly 30 years. And even though we worship in an old school, there's nothing old school about us. Every Sunday there is contemporary worship, a dynamic practical message from the Bible, fun and safe child care and children's ministry. There really is something for the entire family. I would personally like to invite you to join us this Sunday at 10:30, or you can listen to us live every Sunday on 94.3 The Fuse. Our church website is golifechurch.com. We look forward to meeting you soon, and we hope you remember that today, no matter what you're going through, God is on your side.
Jesus, you're all I need.
Nothing wakes me up like Gooney in the morning.
Welcome back to Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM. We're halfway through the week. It's Wednesday, July 30th, 6:43 here at the KBS Studios. Gooney here with you this morning. We got Heather in the house.
Hey, guys.
Charles is with us.
I'm up.
Did you hear what we were going to do for you?
No, I didn't.
Get the Charles in Charge song and play it.
That's my theme song.
It is.
Exactly.
I play that whenever I'm walking around the house when nobody's looking. Yeah.
I can just see they just walking like, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I am in charge.
That's me. That's me. That's awesome. Well.
Scott Baio was the bane of my existence whenever I was in elementary school, because you know how many times I heard that? And it's been years since someone pulled that out, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't bring that back.
Leave that. Leave that just where it was in the 90s. Yeah, we're going to leave that there.
See, I had to suffer through that. And then when Child's Play came out, everybody wanted to call me Chucky.
Yeah.
Until I grew up tall enough to where they probably feared for their life if they called me Chucky, because I would give them the death stare.
Yeah.
Try being Heather Feather your entire life.
Heather Feather.
That's original.
And Gooney had Gooney, so I don't think you I don't think you could do anything to Gooney. But were you asked to do the truffle shuffle a lot?
Yeah. Constantly.
A lot.
Can you do the truffle shuffle right now?
No, I don't wanna. I don't wanna do the truffle shuffle. You know, Charles, we were talking about this a while ago. I just want to get your thoughts on it real quick. I don't want to spend a lot more time on it, but I'm sure you've heard that San Antonio may be looking into the Raiders. Do you think it's just a scam to try to get a new stadium in Oakland?
No, I don't. I was reading this article last night, and apparently the Davis family took that tour about 3 or 4 days before the Oakland A's signed the lease for their stadium, preventing the Raiders from tearing it down and building a new one. So the guy's looking at his options, and I don't blame him. And this isn't the first team that San Antonio has courted.
Right.
After Hurricane Katrina, they decided to be vultures and tried to pry the Saints from New Orleans. And so this is the very reason why I don't like San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't. I've been to San Antonio one time, and I just kind of walked around with like, yeah, these people are thieves.
They tried to take my Saints.
They wanted to pick the Saints from there, and you know what? I'm never going to forget that. The people in Oakland, do you want the people in Oakland to hate San Antonio that much? The people in New Orleans are fun-loving people. The people in Oakland, they might do a road trip. Have you seen the previews for the new Mad Max film?
No, I haven't.
That's what's going to happen. You've seen the old Mad Max film, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what the Oakland Raiders fans look like, and they might do a road trip down to San Antonio if they think they're going to lose their team.
The Raiders fans are some of the most hardcore fans that you'll ever see.
They really are, and scary.
Yeah. And Oakland's one of the most dangerous cities in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't mess with the Raiders.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to do something, and but I don't think Jerry Jones is gonna allow it. He's on the relocation expansion committee, and he's going to protect his territory, and he already has to compete with the Texans. He's not gonna want another team to compete with.
Right.
Really, I don't know about the word compete. I would maybe describe it a different way.
No, we're talking about dollars and attention.
Not talent?
No,
Okay.
and the Cowboys have lots of talent. I just don't think they have the leadership to push it
Not
through.
well put together.
No, but no, I don't see a team coming to San Antonio before Oklahoma City maybe gets theirs first.
Right.
And that may be a good landing spot for them.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
But
I think they should stay in Oakland. But.
That's okay. I'm going to continue giving San Antonio the stink eye.
Either way. Hey, last night they did the first round of voting on America's Got Talent.
I really don't like that show.
Man, it's so great.
You know what? It's too wide open. It truly is. I mean, how do you and who says these are talents? Like, how do these people figure out that they could do some of this stuff?
I know some of the stuff is off the wall.
Hey, if you can do something that's out of the ordinary in America, that's a talent.
You know what? Play a video game. I mean,
Hey, I'm surprised I haven't seen that on the show yet.
I should do that.
But last night, like they had the first round of voting, which was the live show. They had 10 acts that come on, and some of the acts, like I kind of just went through because of course I watched the whole show and I ranked them from 1 to 10. And some of these that are on the bottom of the list here are those acts that it's like you see the same exact act every season on every show. It's just a different group of people.
Is Howard Stern and
Sharon
Osbourne still on the show?
Sharon's not on it anymore.
How about Hoffman?
No, he's gone. It's Howard Stern and Howie Mandel, and then Heidi Klum is on there now. And
Usher.
No, Usher's on The Voice.
Oh yeah, it was the one where you turned the chair.
It's the girl from the Spice Girls.
Together.
Yeah.
One of the Spice Girls is on there too.
It's Sporty Spice.
Yeah, she's on the.
Come on, man. Know your Spice Girls.
Yeah, I'm a big Spice Girls fan. Sorry.
You had the poster growing up.
Oh, I did. No, but yeah, I was bringing up, and the worst one of the night, in my opinion, was the jump rope crew. Like, they still have jump rope crews.
Do they really?
Yes. And these are like.
That's old school's 80s.
Exactly. Like, I can remember being
unless you're like a 9 or 11-year-old girl.
Yeah,
what was it? Jump rope for life?
Yeah, like in the 3rd grade, they'd go around and tour elementary schools. Like, that's the only gig these guys are going to be. It's not going to be a Vegas act. Like,
well, but Jump Rope for Heart has nothing on these little girls that do the double dutch and they got the little chants and everything that go with it.
Oh, that's hardcore right there.
They are. Some of them are hardcore, but are these adults? Or
yeah, they're full-grown adults, and they had some neons on out there and black lights, and they just jumped ropes. That's all they did.
I like how you said full-grown.
Yeah, they were full-grown.
Adults.
Yeah. So that's who got the worst performance of the night, in my opinion, because I'm very judgmental when I watch these shows. So.
Be back later, honey. I got to go to jump rope practice.
Yeah, right. Like, how is that going to work? But I mean, there were some really good acts there too. I mean, there were some that were mixed in there that weren't that great. Of course, there was one called the Baile Comingo, which is just this huge dance crew, which they do every single year. There's just a different group of people that range from, kids that are like 8 or 9 years old up to full-grown adults once again. But they were there. They ranked in at number 8. There was one, though, that they were called the Jasmine Flowers, and this was a little dance crew where they used like rose petal type deals, and it looked really, really cool. It got a bad ranking. I'm not sure if they'll go through because it's on TV, and most of the people that vote on this show watch it on TV. Right. And TV doesn't do acts like this justice, in my opinion, at all. Like, this is one of those that if you're there live, you see all the lights, you see all the big production.
Right.
It's really neat. But on TV, there's just different angles. You don't get the full view. So I think shows like that really hurt in contests like this. But who really strived last night were comedians, magicians, and singers, which typically do well on that show.
They're easier to judge.
Yeah, exactly. There was this guy named Dan at Naturman. He's a comedian on there, and he's just so funny. He got on there, and he was talking about, how those commercials for medicine and stuff, at the end of them, they'll always say, ask your doctor. And he was like, shouldn't my doctor already know about this stuff? I never thought about that, but that's true. It was funny. But
and they're all like, blah, blah, blah,
yeah, exactly.
Commercial.
You should ask your doctor for more information.
It puts all the horrible, awful side effects in that little paragraph.
Yeah,
that they speed up, so you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, it's like, well, the doctor's like, hey, you should go home and take 2 of these. It might work out. Hey, but what about this medication? I didn't think about that. Like, doc?
Do you know doctors hate that, by the way?
Oh, I'm sure.
They really do not want you trying to self-prescribe.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm the doctor. You pay me all this money.
There was this.
If I was a doctor, I would give you something totally opposite. You would come in and you would want something, and I would be like, nah, I don't like that brand. Here, this is what you need.
Oh,
and I would just give you something totally different. That's why I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
He said that's why I'm not a doctor.
That whole Hippocratic oath would get me.
There was this group. I don't know if they're brothers or what. They go by David and Lehman. They're a couple magicians that come up there, and they did this really cool thing because they came up right up to the judge's booth, and they took a self picture. I'm not going to say the word, but they got a picture, and they got it out there, and it was them and all of the judges. And right after they took the picture, they tweeted it live on the air. So they tweeted it right after the picture was taken, and then they go through their entire act. And what they did is they gave each judge one of their own books that they had written. They had all written books. They gave it to them, and they told them to pick one piece out of the book, tear it out of the book, and they had to rip it up in small pieces. And they put all those pieces of paper in one big pile, and then the guys drew out, they had one of them pick a number, and they drew out whatever number it was, and had Howie Mandel read the biggest word that was in the piece of paper from that book. And he read the book, and it was camera ready, is what it was. And whenever they were like, all right, well, let's check out they went to Twitter, and they checked it out, and the hashtag on that was camera ready, which was a picture they took way before they even pulled out the books. It was a really cool trick. And, I'm sure, it was all set up because it's magic. Magic's not real sometimes, but it was a cool trick. Regardless, it was really cool and neat. I liked it.
You look
It was fun.
the saddest little kid ever.
I don't know. I like the show. It's fun. I mean, there are some acts on there that aren't that great, but some of them are pretty cool. Miguel Dakota was a great singer, and he did an excellent job. So
If I had cable, I'd probably watch it.
yeah, see,
But
there you go.
it's not on
Well,
Netflix.
you don't need cable to watch it. Just pull out the rabbit ears.
Yeah, there you go. Get some foil, and does that still work?
No.
No.
Hey, be sure to get your birthdays and anniversaries into our Facebook page, facebook.com/KBS957. We'll read those live and on the air along with your sweetheart of the day. We got TSN Weather coming up next on KBST AM and FM.
K-Best Radio, it's time for your West Texas weather report. Heat today, but a cold front heading our direction with cooler temperatures and some showers and thunderstorms possibly, especially in the Permian Basin later on this evening and overnight. As we head towards a Wednesday night, a 20% chance of showers and storms. Thursday morning, temperatures cooling early into the 80s. We'll take that. Upper 80s for Friday and Saturday. Sunday will be near 90 degrees. And as we head towards next week, high pressure is still off to the west of us. Temperatures in the 80s to 90s for highs and these cooling morning lows. 80s to 60s for highs.
This is Inside Texas Business, featuring Lone Star State companies committed to creating growth through unique business practices. Brian Philco, president of Jetco Delivery, says,
Jetco Delivery is the premier provider of logistics, transportation, and freight brokerage services. We're committed to safely delivering freight on time and always going the extra mile for our customers.
Inside Texas Business, sponsored by Texas Mutual Insurance Company, a workers' comp provider committed to stopping workplace accidents before they happen. More at WorksafeTexas.com.
You can sing Davy Crockett backwards.
Frontier, wild, the king, Crockett, Davy.
It's not hard to rip the Canepa phone book in half. Yeah, it's just 4 pages.
Ran out of gas going down a lane. I got chased by coyotes, skunks.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith. Hear the sound of Texas weekday mornings on KBST right after the 8 o'clock news. Sponsored by Churchwell Insurance and Choate Well Service.
Includes policy changes rejected by Democrats. The House vote could come tomorrow. The man who commanded the operation that took down Osama bin Laden has been named as the lone finalist to become the next chancellor of the UT system. And Jenny Lacoste Caputo says Admiral William McRaven is a good fit.
He is just a visionary, experienced leader. He has a global experience testifying for Congress, leading a 66,000 workforce with a $10 billion budget, which is U.S. Special Operations Command.
McRaven is a 1977 graduate of UT Austin, where he had got his bachelor's in journalism. And the board will have to wait 21 days before he can be confirmed to the position. The Admiral attended graduation ceremonies at his alma mater in May of this year. The Mexican Congress this week doing what for decades seemed impossible. They're going to end the government monopoly on the oil industry.
Both large parties in Mexico realize the untapped riches of the Eagle Ford and other tight shale deposits in Mexico can't be tapped without foreign, read Texas, expertise. Luis Gomar runs the Mexico City office of the Texas law firm Strasburger & Price.
This is a great opportunity for Texas-based companies and for companies in the United States particularly that deal in unconventional exploration and production.
Gomar said from Mexico City that oil could rebuild the Mexican economy, ending the attraction of cartels and ending immigration into the U.S. This is Jim Forsyth, TSN News.
An employee of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department has died at the A.E. Woods State Fish Hatchery in San Marcos. Melissa Millicam with the city of San Marcos says it appears the worker was underground at the time.
He was operating a gasoline-powered pump, and they believe that he may have been overcome by carbon monoxide.
Firefighters were able to recover the body. The investigation is underway. Congress continues to debate long-term funding for highway traffic safety programs, but millions of dollars are going unspent. The problem appears to be the number of rules attached to 3 grant programs that were set up in 2012, which require states to set up driver licenses based on age, ignition, interlock devices, and distracted driving laws. Texas is one of the states with a graduated driver license, but the federal rules say states must make people wait until age 18 to get an unrestricted license. This is TSN News.
This is Inside Texas Business, featuring Lone Star State companies committed to creating growth through unique business practices. Gwen Drumgoole, risk manager of Houston Community College, says
Houston Community College provides students with knowledge and skills to compete in today's technological and global economy. We believe what is good for you is good for our community and region.
Inside Texas Business, sponsored by Texas Mutual Insurance Company, a workers' comp provider committed to stopping workplace accidents before they happen. More at WorksafeTexas.com.
She's 11, and this is her. Aren't you even going to ask me what's wrong, Mom? Don't you care? Well, so you know, nothing is wrong. I'm fine. How about a little space, okay? So I was wondering, is there a vaccine for that?
There's no vaccine for drama, but there's one for HPV that helps prevent cervical cancer. Ask your doctor about all the recommended vaccines for your preteen. Visit ImmunizeTexas.com. A message from the Texas Department of State Health Services.
In California, officials in L.A. say a pipe is to blame for spewing about 8 million gallons of water. That pipe is 93 years old. The water was going 30 feet into the air, opened a 15-foot hole near the UCLA campus, and flooded the brand-new track and field area. Also got water inside of Pauley Pavilion. Safety concerns and pro-Russia separatists continue to keep international observers away from the site in eastern Ukraine, where Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 was brought down. And in Gaza, continued military strikes are further dimming hopes for a sustainable ceasefire. 15 Palestinians reported killed and 90 wounded today when tank shells slammed into a UN school where hundreds of Gazans were seeking shelter. I'm Mitch Carr on the Texas State Network. This is TSN.
With news every hour, this is KBST AM and FM, Big Spring.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Richard Davies. A crowded UN school in Gaza hit by an Israeli air attack this morning. 15 Palestinians were killed, many children wounded by shrapnel.
This is a very crowded area, the most densely populated part of the Gaza Strip, which is overpopulated to begin with. These families don't have very many places to go. 200,000 Gazans, that's more than 10% of the population, are now living in these UN schools, which are filled to capacity.
ABC's David Wright in Gaza. The Israeli military says it struck 75 sites today, including 5 mosques, it says, were used by Hamas fighters. More small car frontal crashes, and the results are mixed. So far, just over half the models tested have acceptable or good results. Russ Rader with the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says several smaller, fuel-efficient models did do well.
If you're concerned about gas prices, the Ford C-Max Hybrid earns an acceptable rating in this test, and the Chevrolet Volt, which you can drive without any gasoline, at least for a period of time, earns an acceptable rating.
But some cars did poorly in these crash tests. And there's a speed bump over a bill in Congress to continue funding highway repairs in Washington. ABC Stephen Portnoy.
With the Highway Trust Fund running on fumes, hundreds of thousands of construction workers could be laid off this fall. The House has passed a $10.8 billion measure to keep the money flowing, but the Senate has just taken out a provision that covers much of the cost. Critics called it an accounting gimmick. House Speaker John Boehner has pledged to undo the Senate's action before leaving town Thursday. Highway funding could be left on the side of the road.
Aging infrastructure, a growing problem for many states. In Los Angeles, a 90-year-old water main broke, flooding much of the campus at UCLA. This is ABC News.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-319-MyTV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-319-MyTV.
Just $24.99. What are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-319-MyTV. That's 877-319-MyTV.
My bad back loves my Craftmatic.
My bad back loves my Craftmatic bed.
My bad back loves my Craftmatic adjustable bed.
These aren't actors. They're real people who sleep better every night thanks to their Craftmatic adjustable bed. Just call 800-371-9576. That's 800-371-9576 for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. Call 800-371-9576. That's 800-371-9576.
The U.S. should look beyond the border. That's what California Governor Jerry Brown is saying, announcing that his state will accept more undocumented children in new shelters. He spoke at a news conference in Mexico City.
I certainly would support additional shelters to deal with this particular need.
Brown speaking next to a Spanish-language interpreter. President Obama has announced new sanctions against Russia for its support of rebels in Ukraine who've challenged the government.
Russia and its proxies in Ukraine have failed to cooperate with the investigation and to take the opportunity to pursue a diplomatic solution to the conflict in Ukraine.
The president also announcing sanctions that were partnered with Europe. Breakthrough research at Stanford University could lead to an answer to the biggest complaint for consumers over their smartphones, short battery life. New research may lead to longer battery life. This is ABC News.
Elrod's Furniture is pleased to announce that we are now the authorized dealer for Flex Steel furniture. Flex Steel, America's seating specialist, has been producing high-quality furniture for over 100 years. The Latitudes collection features the dual flex spring system that sets the standard for comfort. This spring system pairs the famous blue ribbon seat spring with helical coils into a durable steel frame. And because it's Flex Steel, both the wood frame and the spring system are guaranteed for life. The Latitudes collection lets you enjoy the quality of Flex Steel furniture, as well as the luxury of fine leather at prices you can afford. So come in for a no-pressure shopping experience at Elrod's Furniture, Big Spring's oldest, largest, finest furniture store with the best brands and best prices at 2309 Scurry Street.
It's never too late to enroll at New Hope Christian School for newborns through 12. New Hope offers a Becca curriculum with loving Christian teachers, after-school care, and transportation available for most area schools. Hot, nutritious breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack provided. Stop by 118 Cedar Road or go to newhopebigspring.com. That's www.newhopebigspring.com. See what a difference New Hope can make in your child's future.
We're sending you back to the future.
Your child's future depends on their education, and Nazarene Christian Academy continues to provide you with a choice in that education. With kindergarten, first grade, and second grade coming in 2014, they provide a Becca curriculum with certified, loving Christian teachers. For more information, go to newhopebigspring.com. See what a difference Nazarene Christian Academy can make in your child's future.
Does even the thought of going to the dentist make you feel anxious? Has it been years since you've been to the dentist, and do you fear that you will need a lot of stressful dental procedures? This is Dr. David Ward, a comprehensive general dentist in Big Spring, and I'd like to introduce you to the calming world of sedation dentistry. We offer soothing nitrous oxide gas and oral conscious sedation where you take 1 or 2 small pills and become very relaxed, often snoozing and not even remembering the appointment. So whether you need anything from just a few fillings to surgery to a full mouth makeover, Sedation Dentistry will help you achieve your goals in a relaxed and comfortable manner. See our website at davidwardedds.com for more information about this and the many other unique services that we offer. Dr. David Ward, gentle, beautiful, high-tech dentistry right here in Big Spring.
It's high summer, so you ought to hightail it out of town and do something fun. You like lakes, rivers, and streams? There are plenty of them in Texas. You like mountains? We have 100 of them over a mile high. Like the beach? We've got 400 miles of shoreline. You like camping? We've got 55 state parks and 2 national parks. So go somewhere. Make sure your vehicle is in good shape. If you need a part, call West Tex at 263-5000. They're the folks in the know when it comes to auto parts. Snyder Highway, Spring.
These cheesy bread dogs are great. The cheese is baked into the bun.
Oh, yeah, the bun's the best part.
Well, what about the hot dog?
Oh, yeah, the hot dog's the best part.
You can't have more than one best part.
Yeah, I totally can. Like, I have many best qualities. I'm frugal, I'm kind to those in need, and I can levitate for short periods of time.
No, that's called jumping.
Oh, cool, you already got a name for it.
Every part's the best part. New cheesy bread dogs. This is how you Sonic. For limited time, only participating Sonic drive-ins. Call Star Sonic for specials. Not all carriers recover. Messenger data rates apply.
Don't take a chance with your family's comfort. Trust Delcoats Heating and Air Conditioning. We provide our customers with quality products at a reliable service. Hi, I'm Dale Coates, here to tell you not to wait till the last minute to get your AC service. Delcoats Heating and AC offers many services to make sure summer season is comfortable, cool, with low prices and remarkable service. Our products are trusted to bring energy efficient, quiet, and consistent comfort to your home. So don't hesitate. Call Delcoats Heating and AC at 714-4688.
With the news you need, when you need it. Howard County's news leader, your KBest Radio Group News.
Good morning. This is Alex Huddleston with your KBest Radio Group News for Wednesday, July 30th. KBST News Time is 7:08 a.m. It is currently 78 degrees here at the KBest Studios. We'll have your Pinpoint 7 weather forecast coming up in just a moment. But first, yesterday morning, tragedy struck one West Texas church as a fire began inside First Baptist Church of Sand Springs. The first person to notice the blaze, Jim Piper, gave KBST an exclusive interview yesterday.
Okay, I woke up this morning, went outside, was going to cut part of a tree down, set up a ladder, and as I walked back toward the front of my storage building, I looked over at the church and saw flames inside the back part of the kitchen area. Ran and got a couple fire extinguishers. At that time, I thought it was a small fire. Went inside, and there was stuff on top of the electric stove that was on fire. I put that out, called 911. I came back outside. I know smoke coming up off the backside of the east side of the building. Ran around there and looked at it and saw that it was a much bigger fire. And recalled 911 to get the fire department and the sheriff's department out here.
Once emergency personnel were called to the scene, one of the first responders was the chief of Howard County's volunteer fire department, Tommy Sullivan.
I live about a mile down the road. I was one of the deputy was on scene first. I was the first fire official here at the time. We had heavy smoke and flame showing from the northeast building and the southeast wing of the building. We knocked the fire down, but encountered heavy heat conditions. So that tells us, the fire has progressed, heavily into the ceiling. So we backed firefighters out and went defensive on it.
The fire gutted the church, caving in the roof and bringing down the steeple. Thankfully, it was not close enough to any neighboring buildings for the fire to spread, and no injuries occurred as a result of the blaze. However, the 30-plus strong congregation of First Baptist of Sand Springs has had their sanctuary devastated. One member of the congregation is church organist Cheryl Tucker.
I played the piano at Sand Springs Baptist. I've gone to church there since I was 5 years old. The church has been through a lot. When I started a church there, it was just a little tiny building over there. And as our congregation grew, we built the bigger building off to the side there. And when I was a little girl, we would play and while they were building it. I have such memories of that church. And my father was a deacon there for as long as I can remember until he passed away. And the church would get down to just nothing. My dad would tell them, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. And we we would. We'd keep going, and the congregation would pick back up. And that church has a lot of heart and soul. We've got a lot of good people that just keep it going. I've gotten so many nice messages and phone calls from people, and everyone has just been wonderful. And I appreciate our community so very much because people are so good.
The church was a member of the Crossroads Baptist Association. In order to find out how you can help the congregation of First Baptist, you can contact the association at 432-263-1673, or you can check their website for more contact information at crossroadsbaptistassociation.org. The Howard County Sheriff's Department has announced that they detained 2 juveniles yesterday immediately after the fire, and that the 2 youths in custody have been charged with the arson of First Baptist of Sand Springs. Workforce Solutions of West Central Texas, located in Snyder, has received some incredible news. As part of a $5 million grant for Texas workforce agencies, the Scurry County agency will be given almost $500,000. The program, which is planned to be implemented with this money, is going to assist the unemployed with honing their job skills. Participants in the newly funded program will attend a 2-week employability boot camp. After graduation, they will then be placed in on-the-job training or be given a 6-week subsidized internship. For more information, you can contact Workforce Solutions of West Central Texas by calling 325-574-1739. In obituaries, Lucille Lou Norris, 82, of Big Spring, died Sunday in a local nursing home. Funeral services will be held 10 a.m. this morning at Midway Baptist Church, with interment to follow at Trinity Memorial Park. Arrangements are under the direction of Nally Pickle and Welch Funeral Home. KBST News Time is 7:13 a.m. This portion of your news has been brought to you this morning by Myers & Smith Funeral Home. We'll return in just a moment with more news, sports, and weather right after this.
In a time of personal loss, emotions can be overwhelming. That's why caring and comfort are 2 of the greatest gifts we can give.
Gathering our friends and family was the greatest comfort of all.
Talk to our caring staff about your funeral needs. For the sensitivity, compassion, and respect the moment calls for.
Myers & Smith Funeral Home and Chapel.
KBST News Time is 7:14 a.m. The Big Spring YMCA is hosting a dodgeball tournament this weekend. All proceeds from the tournament will go to Relay for Life. Registration starts at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. Teams can consist of up to 10 people, and registration fees are $6 for every person on the team. The games will begin at 10:30 a.m., and the teams that place first and second place will win special prizes. That, again, is going on Saturday at the YMCA, with all proceeds benefiting Relay for Life. Coming up this weekend as well, the Northside Movement is hosting a flea market at Bert Andrews Park. 2 days of the market will begin on Saturday. Several special booths have already been announced, with everything from fresh produce to free haircuts. For more information, you can contact Natty Saldivar with the Northside Movement at 432-466-5363. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers had a heartbreaking game last night. They were edged out by the New York Yankees. Final score 12-11. This is after the Rangers' victory on Monday, and means that tonight's game will be the deciding factor in their 3-game series. That rubber match begins at 7:05 p.m. You can tune in to the mighty 1490 KBSD AM for full coverage. Texas other team, the Houston Astros, had a similar evening. They defeated the Oakland Athletics on Monday, but fell to the A's last night 7-4. They have the final match in their 3-game series tonight as well. And in minor league baseball, the Midland Rockhounds are in the same boat as their major league counterparts. They, too, had a loss last night after a victory on Monday. The Rockhounds were defeated by their rivals, the Frisco Rough Riders. Final score 6-2, tying up the series and the state as a whole, as both teams are competing to be the #1 minor league team in Texas. The conclusion of tonight's game will not only decide that 3-game series, it will also decide who is in the lead statewide. First pitch is at 7:05 p.m. KBST News Time is 7:16 a.m. We'll have your full Pinpoint 7 weather forecast coming up in just a moment.
This is your Action News reporter again at the scene of Back in Motion Chiropractic, where another amazing incident seems to have occurred. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened here at Back in Motion?
Yeah, I did.
He looked like an ordinary man, but I believe he was a superhero. He took Ethel's head and adjusted her neck real gentle-like, and she came out a-smiling. Took her pain away in a flash. Come back here, Ethel!
There you have it. Pain has once again been eliminated at Back in Motion Chiropractic.
The forecast you need when you need it. K-Best Weather.
In weather, today's high is estimated at 101 degrees. Tonight's low at 70. A bit warmer today, but cooler this evening. That's due to a cold front expected to blow in, dropping tomorrow's estimated high down into the upper 80s. We could see this cooler weather stick around for as long as a week, and in addition, there is still a slight chance we might catch a bit of rainfall, possibly showers, maybe even some thunderstorms in the next few days. KBST News Time is 7:17 a.m. Coming up, we've got local birthdays and the sweetheart of the day on Gooney in the Morning, here on KBST.
Our home, it's one of the biggest investments we ever make. I'm Kelly Seals from United Country Heart of the City Realtors. With over 12 years of real estate experience, I have the expertise to help you, whether buying a home or selling your existing property. Call me today and let's make your home buying or selling dreams come true. United Country Realtors, because nobody knows the country like we do.
Everything is easy 'cause of you.
We'll save you money at Allen's Gallery of Furniture and Appliances. Your brand source. Lazy Boy, Ashley, Lane, Best, Sealy, Mayo, Hooker, and many more. Will not be undersold on the best selection and prices in the area. Allen's 202 Scurry, downtown Big Spring, will save you money. Wow!
Convenient, personalized dental care at an exceptional value for the entire family. That's the foundation of Abbeville Dentistry. Our doctors make it easy for you to get the quality dental care you deserve on your schedule and your budget. Abbeville Dentistry has been providing locally owned, state-of-the-art dentistry to the community with services like same-day appointments and cleanings and extractions. At Abbeville Dentistry, we don't believe you should have to pay anything to find out what's wrong. That's why your new patient exam, x-rays, and consultation have always been free. That's a $278 value. We offer an in-office savings plan. Our providers for the Affordable Care Act today. Call 432-271-3046. That's 432-271-3046. Or visit BigSpringSmiles.com. Experience the difference. Experience Abbeville Dentistry. Offer not valid with third-party remuneration. Doctors Youngblood Sharp, Capella General Dentist, Abbeville LLC.
All right, here we go. Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime. It's showtime. All right, showtime.
Showtime, showtime.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
Showtime. Showtime. Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Hurry up.
Broadcasting live from the K-Best Studios in the Spring City. It's the morning show you wake up to hear. Gooney in the Morning with Gooney.
It's hard to think of words in the morning.
And Heather.
And I'm dyslexic and ADD.
Yes.
Whoa.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That escalated quickly.
Are you ready? It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, so you can take a break.
Good morning, and welcome to Gooney in the Morning on KBST AM and FM. We're halfway through the week, folks. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 7:20 here at the K-Best Studios. Gooney here with you this morning, getting you up and on your way. We got Heather in the house.
Hey, guys.
Charles Sagona with us this morning.
I am here.
You're here. That's definitely a fact.
It is.
I'm bringing facts this morning.
It is. I have video evidence of it.
You do have video evidence. You can check out the video evidence by going to kbestmedia.com, clicking on the YouTube button on top right hand of the corner. Watch us live on YouTube. If for some reason you miss it, you can always go to our YouTube page and watch it later on. All of our shows are archived on
that. That is one of the coolest features is that I can go back and I can just go straight to that point.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You know, awesome it is being able to watch yourself while you're at home and be like, oh, I'm not doing the morning show, but I can still watch it.
Still watch it. Hey, we got some birthdays here on the Facebook.
Who's celebrating a birthday today, Gooney?
Heather's got one on here.
I do have a birthday today.
It's a special one, Heather.
Yes, I want to wish a birthday to Amber Robinson.
Happy birthday, Amber. We also have Billy Schubert on here. He's got an anniversary. Wish a happy anniversary to Chrissy Schubert. It's been 17 years of marriage. Congratulations,
Nice.
Billy and Chrissy. Also have Jessica Rojo on here wishing a happy first birthday to their sweet Kirsten. That's from Mom and Dad. First birthday, wow. And then we have Jenna Clinkscales on here wishing a happy birthday to Patricia Murdoch. Happy birthday, Patricia. If you're having a birthday or anniversary out there, we here at Gooney in the Morning want to wish you a very special birth-anniversary.
Yeah.
Who's the sweetheart today, Heather?
Oh, our sweetheart today is Nina Ramirez.
Well, congratulations to Nina.
Wow.
Nina's going to be receiving a beautiful rose in a bud vase from the fine folks down there at Faye's Flowers. If you happen to see Nina today, be sure to thank her for everything she does. Congratulate her on getting Sweetheart of the Day and give her $1. And just like we did yesterday and we do every Tuesday here on Gooney in the Morning, we do give away free food to Brenda's Hilltop Cafe at 1307 East 4th Street. Brenda's is open Monday through Friday, 11 to 8. Since today is Wednesday, their lunch special from 11 to 3 is chicken fried steak. And then tonight from 4 to 8, the dinner special is all-you-can-eat sirloin steak for only $13.15 down there at Brenda's Hilltop Cafe. Oh!
I could go through some chicken fried steak.
Dude, Christine ate chicken fried steak the other day.
Was it good?
Amazing.
See, I've attempted to make chicken fried steak, and I can't make the batter stick to the steak.
Josh's chicken fried steak.
Egg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, use more egg.
Yep.
Use more egg?
You use more egg.
Or I could go to Brenda's.
Yeah, or you can just do that way easier and cleaner.
Yes.
You don't have to do the dishes.
Definitely.
Right. That's right.
Hey guys, the U.S. Hang Gliding Nationals is returning to Big Spring. Some of the pilots are going to start arriving probably in the next couple of days toward the end of the week.
Yeah.
And the competition starts off on Sunday, August 3rd, and it's going to continue to Saturday, August 9th. They're going to have a practice on August 2nd, so you'll start to see some activity down at the Big Spring Airport. And I talked with Belinda Boltier last year, and she came on the morning show and gave us updates every day. So I called her up and I said, hey, are you going to give us updates this year? And she said, I sure am. She's going to do it whether I asked her or not.
Right.
But she told me, she gave me an update on the event. She said more than 60 competitors have signed up.
Awesome.
And that includes the defending national champion, Zach Majors. Cool. The pilots, like I said, they're going to begin arriving in Big Spring by the week's end. The event's going to consist of 3 classes. They have flex wing, they have sport, and they have rigid wing.
Yeah.
And she also announced, and I may be one of the first people to tell you about this, they have a new feature this year because I like it. I went out to the airport, I watched it,
Right.
and then I had to wait till the next day to get the results and to kind of get everything.
Right.
So it's not as fan-friendly to follow as other sports are.
Right.
Well, they're trying to change that. So they have a new feature. They have a website this year with live tracking, and this website's going to allow anyone with a smartphone, computer, tablet, anything that can connect to the internet. If you have a refrigerator with a browser, boom, you're good. You can stand in front of the refrigerator and watch it. But what it's going to do is you're going to be able to track the pilots in real time. And what they do is they're going to program their cell phones in. They're going to strap it on, and it's going to transmit their location. Now, she did caution me. She said that because coverage can be spotty in West Texas, this feature should be considered experimental. They're going to do it this year, find out if they need to make any adjustments, and hopefully make this a really big thing. I have the link up on kbestmedia.com. Just go look for the U.S. Hang Gliding Nationals Returns of Big Spring article. It's under KBST Sports. It's on the top right now, and you can click on it, and you can get the link to that. Now, the event, if you followed the event last year, you'll know this. Most days are going to launch around 2:15 or 2:30, depending on the length of the task.
Right.
And the official competition website, I have that linked as well on the article.
Nice.
So lots of color going to be added to the Big Spring skies next week.
Yeah, man, and that's really cool that they're doing that with the website and allowing you to keep up with things in real time. Because that was one of the things about the event. I went to it last year for the first time, and first off, my kids absolutely loved it. At this time, they were 4 and 1 year old, and they absolutely loved this. So this is a really cool event to take your kids to, take the whole family out to, get some sun and enjoy some really cool hang gliding competitions. But the thing that I guess I didn't really enjoy was the fact that, you know, when some of these guys and gals take off on their task, they go up in the air and then they kind of disappear. You don't know what happens to them. They
go like 60, 70 miles away and they're out of sight.
They end up in Seminole. They end up in Snyder. They end up in Sweetwater. I mean, they go all over the place. And that's what's really cool about this site that they have up now is you'll be able to go out there, watch the hang gliders, and after they take off, you can go online and check it out and see where they ended up. That's what I think is cool, seeing how far these guys are. Because that's a trip.
And she said you're going to be able to see all the pilots that actually use this program. She said some of them, their phones may not work with it. They have to have a smartphone as well.
Right.
So she said that, but you should, all the pilots that are participating in this program, you'll be able to see them all on one map and be able to follow them. So that's a really cool thing to add to it. And that just makes it more exciting. She said all the pilots are excited to come here.
Oh, they love it.
She said they break records here. The thermals here are excellent. The weather is always excellent.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a great thing. And it shows, 60 competitors signed up, where a few years, she told me they were around 25 to 30.
Yeah, that's a lot of competitors.
Nice.
And this is also a cool opportunity for you to make some money. Because and I know you're wondering how, but this is what's cool. Ramon Hogan, he has the I think 219 art gallery downtown on Main Street there, and he's real big into the hang gliders. Of course, he's a great photographer and goes around all these events, takes pictures and stuff. But last year, he actually got on the road in his car and was going out taking pictures, and he picked up a couple hang gliders that had landed in certain areas because they land out in the middle of the fields. I mean, they land out in an oil field. There was one guy that he was talking about how he landed right there on an oil rig one time, like right there. Everybody's out there working, drilling for oil, and the hang glider shows up. Like, hey guys, what's up? But that Ramon picked a couple of these guys up and gave them rides, back to the airport, and they gave them, $20-$30 for gas each one of them. So that's a way to clean house right there. Just start driving back roads to West Texas, get
hang gliders.
get your smartphone out, go to the website, find out where they're ending up, and try to get there before their fans do. And hey, you need a ride? $20. Let's do it.
I'm gonna tell you, if I'm gonna go up and hang glide, I'm gonna set my ride up in advance. I'm gonna have my support team on the ground.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to think about that.
Who knows? Yeah, you're gonna have to think about where you're gonna land, because you're gonna land. No, yours is okay. You'll actually land back in the airport, Heather.
Okay, I'm so scared.
you won't just disappear. They'll have you land. The tandems are a little different.
I gotta go to work that day.
If everything goes to plan.
Stuff to do.
Now, tandem flights are going to be available too. They had this last year, and I saw a lot of people who went up and heard from a few people who said that it was the thrill of a lifetime. And so if you're interested in a tandem flight, I don't have the price for it yet this year. I think last year it was around $100, $150. And if you want more information, you can contact Russell Brown, 352-546-8616, and that number's up on the website as well.
Awesome. That's cool. I'm excited about it, man. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a cool event last year. And like I said, the kids really enjoyed it. Chloe, she was a year old last year, and when she finally spotted one up in the air, she absolutely lost it. She thought it was the coolest thing.
And hey, don't forget, while you're at kbestmedia.com, sign up for the KBest Club, because we're going to be asking you for that secret word of the day to win some concert tickets.
That's right. It's going to be a family 4-pack that we'll give away to the Music and Madness Tour coming up next Thursday at First Baptist Church here in Big Spring. You're not going to miss out. I guess I'm going to have an exclusive interview with Mark Lowry coming up too. That'll be pretty cool coming up in the next few days.
Got some NASCAR Minute coming up too.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, we'll have that coming up right here on Gooney in the Morning. We got TSN coming up next on KVST, AM and FM.
Good morning. This is Morning News Break. From the Texas State Network, I'm Chuck Martin reporting. Ahead this Wednesday, July 30th.
Governor Rick Perry is making a visit to North Texas today to speak in support of Israel. I'm Joe Gomez.
We begin, though, with lawmakers on the House Committee on the fiscal impact of the Texas border operations. They worry the state is going to be stuck with the $17 million a month bill to finance the DPS and National Guard border surges. Representative Sylvester Turner questioned DPS Director Steve McGraw during that hearing.
Somebody's going to have to pay the tab. Yes, sir. And the feds have given us no indication that they're going to say thank you and reimburse us, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
The Guard's mission is expected to last a year. The influx of Central American children is not expected to have an impact on the state's supply of vaccines. That's according to the state's Health and Human Services Executive Director Kyle Janik.
We have no indication right now this would have any impact on the availability of vaccines. I know there have been some calls from school districts wondering, what's the vaccine supply. There is no indication that we're going to run short.
Illegal immigration, being viewed as a serious issue in the public's eye, is soaring in polls. A new Associated Press JFK survey finds 2/3 of Americans now say that illegal immigration is a serious problem facing the nation. Just under 100 days until Texans elect a new governor, and a survey done by polling firm YouGov, CBS, and the New York Times shows Republican Greg Abbott with a double-digit lead, 50% to 34% over Democrat Wendy Davis. In the John Cornyn versus David Alamil race for the U.S. Senate, Cornyn appears to be cruising to re-election, up by 17 points over the Democrat. The man leaving the governor's job in January stands with Israel today.
This afternoon at Dallas City Hall Plaza, Governor Rick Perry is due to speak about Israel's ongoing conflict with Hamas and reaffirm his support for Israel. This is all going to take place as part of the Jewish Federation's Israel Solidarity Rally. Earlier this month, Perry released a statement saying Israel has an absolute right and responsibility to defend its people against any and all terrorist attacks, including the vicious rocket attacks by Hamas and other terrorist groups. Joe Gomez, TSN News.
Jesse Ventura prevails in his defamation lawsuit against the estate of murdered Texas Navy SEAL Chris Kyle. A Minneapolis jury awarded Ventura $1.8 million after determining Kyle slandered the former Minnesota governor by publishing an account of a bar fight that never happened in his best-selling memoir, American Sniper. Ventura attorney David Olson.
He's certainly grateful to the jury for their verdict, but his reputation with an entire generation of young SEALs may never be repaired.
Kyle shot and killed at a shooting range by a veteran who claims to suffer from PTSD.
Slowly but surely, the drought is easing up. I'm Barbara Schwartz.
Details ahead on TSN Morning News Break.
This is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry!
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like s'mores blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ. This is the stop sign of Texas.
And the 2014 Herald Reader's Choice Award for Best Retirement Living goes to Park Place. No wonder. It's the only locally owned and managed retirement community in the area that assures daily supervision by a member of the Cole family. The home-like atmosphere, separate apartments, and many services are competitively priced. Come by, visit with Amanda Cole Calvio, and enjoy life when you live at Park Place, 501 West 17th, Big Spring.
Welcome back to Morning News Break. The Mexican government is taking the final steps this week toward the historic decision to allow private investment in its oil industry.
The significance is, I would say, transformational for a country.
Luis Gomar, who runs the Mexico City office of the Texas law firm Strasburger & Price, says this will open the door to Texas companies to help Mexico exploit the estimated 42 billion barrels in northern Mexico.
They're really betting on energy reform to be the engine of the economy moving forward.
Gomar says the economic development will keep young people out of the hands of the cartels and cut illegal immigration. This is Jim Forsyth, TSN News.
An oil tanker anchored 60 miles off the Texas coast is now at the center of an international dispute involving the Iraqi government and Kurdistan. A federal judge in Galveston has ordered marshals to seize the $100 million cargo until a dispute is worked out. Officials in Baghdad claim the Kurds illegally pumped the oil and should not be allowed to sell it to an American refinery. The next UT system chancellor will be the Special Forces commander who led the operation to take down Osama bin Laden. Admiral William McRaven is selected by Regents as the lone finalist for the job. He must wait 21 days before it is official. The system's Jenny Lacoste Caputo calls it a good fit.
He is just a visionary, experienced leader. You know, he has a global experience testifying for Congress, leading a 66,000 workforce with a $10 billion budget, which is U.S. Special Operations Command.
McRaven is a 1977 UT Austin grad. He would replace Francisco Cigarroa, who is stepping down after 5 years. The admissions policy at UT is headed back to court. TSN's Mitch Carr has that report.
Opponents of race-based admissions have asked the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals to reconsider a ruling which allows UT to consider race in the undergraduate application process. The July 15th decision was from a 3-judge panel of the court, which said the limited use of race was okay to promote diversity. Abigail Fisher, the white woman who sued in 2008 after being denied admission, has now asked the full court to overrule the panel. The university says about 75% of freshmen are accepted based solely on their class rank. Mitch Carr, TSN News.
Agents continue to tally up the haul, but say the more than 24 fields they've cleared south of Livingston in Polk County contained about 100,000 pot plants worth an estimated $175 million, being called the largest marijuana bust in Texas history. At least 20 people have been rounded up in a South Texas search for suspected gang members. City officials in Seguin. Investigation also led to the seizure of guns, cash, and drugs. A Texas Parks and Wildlife Department worker is dead following an accident at the A.E. Wood State Fish Hatchery in San Marcos.
He was operating a gasoline-powered pump, and they believe that he may have been overcome by carbon monoxide.
San Marcos City spokeswoman Melissa Millicom says the victim was working 20 to 30 feet underground in a chamber at the time. Rains over the last week have improved drought conditions.
A year ago, 93% of Texas was in some stage of drought. A week ago, it was 63%. This week, the number stands at 58%. Rob Mace is with the Texas Water Development Board.
More rain would be great. It's, it feels good to be getting the rains we've been getting and to see the trends we're seeing, but there's still a long ways to go before we're out of drought.
He notes statewide reservoir levels have held steady for the last 4 weeks. That's good news considering they normally dip this time of year. Barbara Schwartz, TSN News.
A charter school co-founded by NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders has until today to request a review by the Texas Education Agency that has ordered Prime Prep's charter revoked.
In the letter that we sent them, we asked them to provide written arguments and documentation as well.
Lauren Callahan says the loss of license grows out of financial irregularities as well as other problems. Just in, a review of the second quarter now says that the nation's economy grew at a rate of 4%. Next, Mike Rogers.
Chuck, it's a supersized homage to America's favorite condiments. Yours, if you've got the money.
They say, go up to the ketchup bottle and turn left. And everybody knows where everything is in relation to the ketchup bottle in town.
We'll have more coming up on the other side of the news.
Along with Chris Schneider Sports, this morning news break for Wednesday, July 30th continues.
Better buy at Benny Boyd. We mean it. But what exactly does a better buy mean for you? That's simple. It means Benny Boyd will beat any dealer's price in text on a new Chevy, GMC, Buick, or Cadillac vehicle. And he'll even deliver it right to your doorstep free of charge.
I know better way to buy, so don't you even try to make it worth the drive.
That's right. You can buy your new vehicle over the phone at a guaranteed lower price and have it delivered at no extra charge. And we have over 800 cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from. You'll find the perfect vehicle at the better price. And that, my friends, is what the Benny Boyd Better Buy is all about. So come get a better buy from Benny Boyd in La Mesa at 2713 Lubbock Highway.
Better buy from Benny and you'll get a better buy. That's Benny Boyd, y'all.
Find new roads.
We're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Morning News Break. Here's TSN's Mike Rogers with the other side of the news.
It's just a thing for the person with the world's largest order of fries up in Collinsville, Illinois, just across the river from St. Louis. The world's largest ketchup bottle. It's now up for sale. It's actually a water tower.
It's the water tower that used to service the ketchup processing plant.
Where they made all that delicious Brooks, rich and tangy, old original, was it catsup or ketchup?
It was catsup with a C-A-T-S-U-P.
And the Brooks Company decided that a big catsup bottle, 170 feet tall in this case, would make a really cool water tower, something no other town had. But Mike Gassman, who runs the local Ketchup Bottle Festival, says nothing lasts forever.
They quit processing the ketchup here in town in the 60s, actually, and then used the property as a warehouse.
Then sold it to a trucking company about 20 years ago, during which time the tower fell into a state of disrepair, with the entire town waiting for someone to come along and fix it up. now that may be about to happen because the trucking company is now selling out.
They don't need it any longer and have decided to put the warehouses, the acreage, and the water tower up for sale.
He says he hopes the new owner appreciates the history of the bottle and develops the land around it.
Something that'll highlight the Ketchup Bottle itself, maybe a welcome center, maybe a cafe, a park.
Because something this iconic, it really does deserve a permanent place in the pantry.
Back in the day, they say you could smell that, sweet ketchup smell throughout town while it was being processed. So it's got a lot of fond memories for everyone.
And I'm Mike Rogers with the other side of the news on TSN.
Chris Schneider's got sports.
Thank you, Doug. Good morning. Baseball last night. The Rangers and Yanks with quite the thriller. They scored 23 runs. In the end, the Yankees win at 12-11. But what a night for Ranger J.P. Arancibia. Homered twice, had 2 doubles, and drove in 7 runs. One of those home runs, by the way, was a grand slam. Rangers still lose despite all that, 12-11. It was Oakland scoring 6 runs in the ninth to come from behind and beat the Astros. 7-4 the final there. They will close that series out in the sunshine today. Not good news for the Cowboys at training camp. Tony Romo sat out the afternoon practice as his surgically repaired back continues to recover. Texans continue to work out in Houston as they get ready for their preseason opener. Chris Schneider, TSN Sports.
Recapping our top story, lawmakers on the House Special Committee looking into the cost of the DPS and National Guard border surges worry that the state will get stuck with a $17 million a month tab. State officials had said initially, no problem, we'll just get the feds to pay for it. So far, nothing from Washington. With Morning News Break, I'm Chuck Martin, TSN News.
Hi, I'm Kevin Knutson, the new pastor at Life Church here in Big Spring. Life Church is an exciting, vibrant, and spirit-filled multicultural church on the corner of 10th and Johnson. We have been serving the families of our great city for nearly 30 years, and even though we worship in an old school, there's nothing old school about us. Every Sunday there is contemporary worship, a dynamic practical message from the Bible, fun and safe child care and children's ministry. There really is something for the entire family. I would personally like to invite you to join us this Sunday at 10:30, or you can listen to us live every Sunday on 94.3 The Fuse. Our church website is golifechurch.com. We look forward to meeting you soon, and we hope you remember that today, no matter what you're going through, God is on your side.
Jesus, you're all I need. Hey, baseball brings us together.
Rockhounds Baseball, presented by Basic Energy Services. Friday, August 1st, the Hounds host Corpus Christi at 7 o'clock at Security Bank Ballpark. Gates open at 6, and the first 1,000 fans receive a free Rocky Rockhound Lawn Gnome. Friday, August the 1st, Rocky Gnome Night. Sponsored by News West 9 and by 7-Eleven.
Baseball brings us together.
Now it's time for the NASCAR Minute, brought to you by Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning and 87 Auto Sales on the K-Best Morning Program.
That's right. It's time for the NASCAR Minute, brought to you by 87 Auto Sales and Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning. I got Tim Knox on the line with me this morning. Good morning, Tim.
Morning. You know, Dale sponsors the show and doesn't even bother showing up.
I know.
You see how that guy is?
Yeah, what's up with that, man? He thinks he can take vacation or what?
Yeah, he thinks he needs a break. You know, I don't know what his problem is.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll forgive him one time. You know, this is his one.
Yeah, you notice that he doesn't do this on the day that we make picks.
He better not, because if not, he's going to end up with a Danica pick,
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You saw what it did to me last week. Well, we got the big race coming up this weekend in Pocono, the big triangle race. It's always it's a fun race to me. You get those big straightaways. You can get up to some speed, and it really shows, in my opinion, it really shows the talent of some of these drivers because you do that. You speed up so much on the straightaways, and you're forced to slow down, make those sharp turns. It's a fun race for me.
It is, and it's one that really kind of bodes well for the guys who are what they call the wheel guys, because the unique thing about Pocono is, you've got 3 unique and different corners at this track, and usually these guys can nail a setup for 2 out of the 3, but there's always going to be one corner that gives everybody trouble, and it could be a different one for every team. So, the guys who can find a way to power their way through the one the one corner that is giving them grief, usually you see those guys end up doing pretty well at Pocono.
Right. It'll be an exciting race to watch. But this is the big story coming out of NASCAR. After last week's race, of course, Denny Hamlin, he got the third place finish. Well, they always take the at least the top 3 cars back into the garage afterwards and give them a good post-race inspection and all that stuff. Well, they found some problems with Denny Hamlin's vehicle, possibly some issues with the rear firewall, block-off plates, and just some overall. There were like 3 different issues that they found pertaining to the body of a car, which is a pretty big infraction in NASCAR. What they did is they went in, they docked him 75 points from the series right now. His crew chief got suspended for six races. His car chief got suspended for 6 races. Tons of fines being dealt out. But the thing is Denny Hamlin already has a win this season, so he's kind of solidified in the race. So, Tim, do you think this is fair at all?
I think it's fair just because of the standpoint of, what those guys did. It's body modifications, and even though there's a lot of rules that some of those guys consider gray in the area of NASCAR as far as what they can and can't do with the car, body modifications are a pretty big, it's cut and dry. You just don't do it. So, and it looks like they were trying to maybe try something new and different, and, they just stepped over the line. So, I think the penalty is fair as far as the infraction goes. Is it really going to matter at the end of the day as far as him getting in the chase? No, because he does have the win. So he's going to be fine there. With the 6-race suspension, those guys will be back in time for the chase. So I think everything's going to be fine for them. It's just going to be a little bit tougher for them, I think, to kind of accrue some points and get up there towards the top before the chase starts.
Right, and it took him from 11th in points down to 21, taking the 75 points away from him. And in my opinion, the biggest punishment here is losing his crew chief, Darren Grubb.
Yeah, and he's a good one too. He's a guy that's been around for a long time, and he kind of knows his stuff. So that probably is the bigger thing than the points, because then he'll be in with that win, but they'll be fine, but the timing of it is kind of poor for them because, Pocono is typically a track where Denny Hamlin does really well.
Right. Well, we'll do a more preview on the Pocono race on Friday, Tim, and we'll make our picks. Remember, you can go to kbestmedia.com, go to On Air, the NASCAR Minute. You can follow and play along with us at home. Right now, Tim, just the way that the points are working out, you're still in 3rd place with 308, Dale's in 2nd with 293, and I'm still in 1st somehow at 266. So we'll make our picks on Friday, bud.
Sounds good, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Tim. You have a great day. That was Tim Knox with the NASCAR Minute, brought to you by 87 Auto Sales and Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning.
Summer is here, and it's hot, and so are the savings at 87 Auto Sales with over 250 pre-owned cars, pickups, and SUVs to choose from. They finance their customers right there at the dealership, so you can drive away the very same day in the vehicle of your choice. 87 Auto Sales has the right vehicles for your needs. Serving West Texas since 1972, 87 Auto Sales on the corner of 3rd and Gregg Street in Big Spring.
Right on the corner and right
on the price. 87 Auto Sales.
Don't take a chance with your family's comfort. Trust Dale Coates Heating and Air Conditioning. We provide our customers with quality products at a reliable service. Hi, I'm Dale Coates, here to tell you not to wait till the last minute to get your AC serviced. Dale Coates Heating and AC offers many services to make sure summer season is comfortable, cool, with low prices and remarkable service. Our products are trusted to bring energy efficient, quiet, and consistent comfort to your home. So don't hesitate. Call Dale Coates Heating and AC at 714-4688.
Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not doing the truffle shuffle. It's Gooney in the morning on KBEST 95.7.
Welcome back to Gooney in the morning on KBST AM and FM. It's Wednesday, July 30th, 7:51 here at the KBEST studios. Gooney here with you this morning, getting you up and on your way. I want to give a shout out to everybody listening in Snyder today. We got Heather in the house.
Hey guys.
Carl Segona with us this morning.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think Gooney's training to be a ring announcer and not a triathlon participant.
Yeah, that's a lot easier training. I can do that from this seat. Right here.
Oh, man.
Hey, I did want to talk about this a little bit. We got the cruiser detailed.
Did you see it finally?
Yes, I checked that thing out, and it looks brand new. You were not kidding about that, man. That thing is nice.
I tell you what,
wow.
Our KBEST Cruiser, you probably seen it. It has the logos on it and everything.
Right.
It had Dr. Pepper spilled in both, not one of them, but both seats. I don't know how you get it in both seats.
Very careful.
Just when you have a lot of people driving it, it gets heavy use, and there's no excuse for it getting dirty, but at the same point, it was dirty, and I just thought it was a lost cause. I saw it, and I was like, That's
what I said. I was like,
never gonna get clean. Maybe a little
for a new
cleaner.
one.
And so we called the wash, and they came.
Roland down.
Yeah, Roland came over. He picked it up. He brought it down. He detailed it. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna take care of it." And a lot of people overpromise and they
deliver.
Yeah, you get it back, and they're like, well, look, there's still stains. And
what had happened was.
And he's like, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's I'm not a miracle worker. But you know what? He was a miracle worker because the seats look like brand new. The carpets look like brand new.
The engine is even spotless.
I know.
Crazy.
It smells so good in there.
The engine smells good.
Heather's crawling around in the engine. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, no, not the engine, the inside of the car. Come on, guys.
No, the great thing is not only can they do like vehicles like this, they can do your boat, your RV. There's a lot of RVs in the area. A lot of guys are real busy working, might not have time to detail your RV. Bring it on down to the wash. It's right there on 3rd and Goliad. They do amazing work. Go see Roland. He'll take care of you.
You know what? I wish Roland did houses, because if he can get my house as clean as he got that cruiser,
he might.
Because see, my wife's gone. I can have him sneak over, clean my house, and when she comes back, she would be amazed at how clean it is. I mean,
you'd get the Husband of the Year award.
This thing, and you want to know what my favorite thing is? My favorite thing, the interior is amazing, but my favorite thing is the headlights, because how some of the headlights start getting that corrosion over the front of it.
Right.
And it probably affects how the beam goes too, because it looks like it's just kind of frosted over.
Right.
Well, he buffed those out, and those look like brand new headlights. I mean, the lenses are perfectly clear. It's really, really awesome.
He did an amazing job.
That's really cool.
So if you're interested, the wash is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 3rd and Goliad. You can call Roland, and he'll pick up and deliver your vehicle to you for free. If you go by there and for some reason he stepped out, he wants you to know that he'll be right back. He's probably washing a car. I mean, he's going to put a lot of effort into it. It takes a lot of elbow grease to do what Roland does.
Oh, yeah.
And his number is 213-4837. That's 213-4837. Leave a message, and he'll get right back to you.
Nice. That's awesome.
Hey, you know what, Gooney? We need a caller for the secret word of the day.
We do. We got the secret word of the day up, and it's up there right now. All you have to do is be a member of the KBEST Club. Give us a call right now, 263-KBST, 263-5278. If you're the first person with the secret word of the day, we're going to hook you up with 4 tickets. This is a family 4-pack to go see Mark Lowry, the Martins, and Jason Crabb next Thursday. These are Grammy Award winners right here. Mark Lowry is hilarious. It's going to be next Thursday night at 7 p.m. at First Baptist Church here in Big Spring. All you got to do is give us a call. You know the secret word on there, and we're going to get you hooked up with 4 tickets.
Let's see if we have a KBEST Club member giving us a call.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on Gooney in the Morning. Who are we talking to?
This is Alan McGee.
Well, hello there, Alan McGee. Are you a KBEST Club member?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome, man. Do you have the secret word of the day?
Comedy.
Comedy! Hey, congratulations, Alan. Man, that is awesome. It's going to be a really fun show going down next Thursday, bud.
It sounds good.
It's going to be exciting. We just got you hooked up with the family 4-pack, so you have 3 other people you'll get to take with you down there. It's going to be just a great night of music and laughs. You know where the K-Best Studio is located here at 608 Johnson?
Yes, I do.
Well, man, you can come by between Monday and Friday, 9 to 5, pick up those tickets.
Sounds good.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for listening, man. And thanks for being a member of the K-Best Club. It's pretty easy to go sign up, right?
Yes, it is.
That's what I like to hear, Bo. Well, thanks for listening. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, Alan. There we go.
That's exciting. And we're going to be doing this every day until Thursday.
Yeah.
Not the weekend, so I'm not coming in to give away tickets.
No, sorry, guys.
But we're going to be doing this till Thursday, and I heard earlier we're going to be upgrading someone to some gold level tickets.
Yeah, just keep listening. Be sure to sign up for the K-Best Club. Just go to kbestmedia.com, click on Club, fill out the information, and you'll be a member. It's that easy. Just check the secret word of the day whenever we ask for your call. Just make sure you have it. But keep up over the next week until next Thursday's show, because the way that we're going to do it is we'll just ask you to give us maybe 2 of the words or 3 of the words, something like that. And if you do it, we'll upgrade your tickets.
Write the words down. So the first word is comedy.
Comedy's the first.
Keep track of it, because we're not going to keep track of it. No, we'll keep track of it. But, we're not going to put it on the website. Once comedy comes down today and we put our new word up,
that's gone. For
tomorrow, you'll have the new word. So write down this word. This word is comedy, and you might get upgraded to some gold tickets.
Yeah, there we go. Heather, so we got a new installment of You're Doing It Wrong today.
We sure do.
Let's hear it.
This one's funny. This story comes out of Kingsport, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Sunday, a tornado rolled through there and destroyed a bunch of homes.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, everybody was outside, trying to help everybody out. Well, there was a house that belonged to 26-year-old Gerard Christian.
Yeah.
Well, when the neighbors went over there to go see if he needed any help with anything, they looked on the lawn and come to find out he's been stealing all of their stuff. Like their power tools. Anything that he can get his hands on, he was stealing and hiding in his house. So when this tornado came through, it threw everything onto the lawn.
Oh, no.
So his neighbors called the cops, and when the cops showed up, come to find out he's already in jail for disorderly conduct.
Gee.
This is karma at its best.
Pretty much. So, Gerard Christian, you're doing it wrong.
Hey, the tornado's doing it right.
Yeah, it really was.
Got outed by a tornado. I tell you what, if this guy's not a believer, he is now.
Yeah, right? Doing it wrong, guy. Doing it wrong. Hey, today's Ride and Fence on Community Calendar.
It is.
Time to Ride some Fence with Marge Carpenter. Always a fun show.
Marge is here in the lobby. She's amped up. She's ready to go. She's got a great show planned.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Hey, Charles, what was your favorite part of today's show?
My favorite part of today's show was revealing the new website for the hang gliding nationals that are coming here. It's going to be awesome to track those guys, but I'm going to go down to the airport a couple days and check that out, and maybe see if we can get Heather up doing a live segment for the morning show from way up in the sky. How high do they go? A couple miles?
Yeah.
Just stop.
About 30,000
We don't even have to talk about this until it happens, okay?
About 30, 40, 50,000 feet somewhere in there.
Gooney.
What was your favorite part of the show, Heather?
Charles in charge.
My favorite part of the show would have to be talking about how jump rope is not really that big of a talent in America. Calm down.
It's really not.
Calm down. It made us laugh, and remember, if you're not laughing, you're not living.
Hey, baseball brings us together.
Rock Hounds Baseball, presented by Basic Energy Services. Friday, August 1st, the Hounds host Corpus Christi at 7 o'clock at Security Bank Ballpark. Gates open at 6, and the first 1,000 fans receive a free Rocky Rock Hound Lawn Gnome. Friday, August the 1st, Rocky Gnome Night, sponsored by News West 9 and by 7-Eleven.
Baseball brings us together.
Parkview Nursing and Rehabilitation offers specialized care you won't find anywhere else in the area. The Coles are hometown owners, and daughter Christy Beecham personally manages Parkview. Medicare-approved short-term stays and a state-of-the-art rehab department enhance the opportunity for recovery from a medical or surgical procedure. Compare services. Choose Parkview, 3200 Parkway, Big Spring.
It's a big shock when all of a sudden you need a new transmission or engine for your pickup. Those things are expensive. You're not always prepared to lay out that big sum of cash to keep the wheels moving, but there's a way around that. Westex has used rear ends, engines, and transmissions that can save you money. Why buy new when used will do? Call Westex at 263-5000. The folks in the know when it comes to auto parts, especially parts for late model pickups. Snyder Highway, Big Spring.
With the news you need when you need it. Howard County's news leader, your K-Best Radio Group News.
Good morning. This is Alex Huddleston with your K-Best Radio Group News for Wednesday, July 30th. KBST News Time is 8:01 a.m. It is currently 78 degrees here at the KBS studios. We'll have your Pinpoint 7 weather forecast coming up in just a moment. But first, yesterday morning, tragedy struck one West Texas church as a fire began inside the First Baptist Church of Sand Springs. The first person on the scene of the blaze, Jim Piper, gave KBST an exclusive interview yesterday.
Okay, I woke up this morning, went outside, was going to cut part of a tree down. I set up a ladder, and as I walked back toward the front of my storage building, I looked over at the church and saw flames inside the back part of the kitchen area. Ran and got a couple fire extinguishers. At that time, I thought it was a small fire. Went inside, and there was stuff on top of the electric stove that was on fire. I put that out, called 911. I came back outside. I know smoke coming up off the backside of the east side of the building. I ran around there and looked at it and saw that it was a much bigger fire and recalled 911 to get the fire department and sheriff's department out here.
After emergency personnel called to the scene, one of the first responders was the chief of Howard County's volunteer fire department, Tommy Sullivan.
I live about a mile down the road. I was one of the deputy was on scene first. I was the first fire official here at the time. We had heavy smoke and flame showing from the northeast building and the southeast wing of the building. We knocked the fire down and encountered heavy heat conditions. So it tells us, the fire progressed, heavily into the ceiling. So we backed firefighters out and went defensive on it.
The fire gutted the church, caving in the roof and bringing down the steeple. Thankfully, the church was not close enough to any neighboring buildings for the fire to spread, and no injuries occurred as a result of the fire. However, for the 30-plus strong congregation of First Baptist of Sand Springs, their sanctuary is devastated. One member of the congregation who showed up yesterday was Cheryl Tucker.
I played the piano at Sand Springs Baptist. I've gone to church there since I was 5 years old. The church has been through a lot. When I started the church there, it was just a little tiny building over there. And as our congregation grew, we built the bigger building off to the side there. And when I was a little girl, we would play while they were building it. And I have such memories of that church. And my father was a deacon there for as long as I can remember until he passed away. And the church would get down to just nothing. My dad would tell him, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. And we'd keep going, and the congregation would pick back up. And that church has a lot of heart and soul. We've got a lot of good people that just keep it going. I've gotten so many nice messages and phone calls from people, and everyone has just been wonderful. And I appreciate our community so very much because people are so good.
The church is part of the Crossroads Baptist Association. In order to find out how you can help the congregation of First Baptist, you can contact the association at 432-263-1673. Or you can check their website for more contact information at crossroadsbaptistassociation.org. The Howard County Sheriff's Department is in charge of the investigation. They detained 2 juveniles yesterday immediately after the fire and announced yesterday afternoon that the 2 youths in custody had been charged with the arson of First Baptist. There was another building that suffered some serious damage yesterday as well. However, this was more of a welcome event than a tragedy. Demolition began on the Old Furs Cafeteria near Walmart at the corner of FM 787. The building is being leveled to make way for new construction, a shopping center, which will be built by White Oak Development. Construction was supposed to begin earlier this year, but as CEO Jeff Farmer added in an interview months ago, delays were to be expected.
That's slated to be started late May, and just understanding the delays that happen with construction schedule, I would not be surprised for that to push back into June.
It did push back into the end of July, but the demolition is now underway, and as soon as the building is cleared away, the new shops can go in.
We have Route 21, we have AT&T, we've got a nail salon, and we have a couple of other tenants. One is a restaurant that would be open in another location that is currently open in Midland, and a couple of other tenants.
White Oak Development is also planning a rental housing development in Kentwood. No word has been given on whether that project is still on schedule or is also experiencing delays. The United Way of Big Spring in Howard County has announced a new project underway, their first ever cookbook. They've already begun planning for a special event in October, 70 Bites across Howard County, at the end of which they will unveil the new cookbook. The event is in conjunction with the Heritage Museum of Big Spring, and almost 500 recipes from the United Way's board members, their member agencies, and family and friends will be contained within the book. In addition, they have announced that this event is also an opportunity for local restaurants to show off their recipes. Anyone interested in being a part of the event can contact Tammy Schreckengost at the Heritage Museum or stop by 510 Scurry and pick up an entry form. And Workforce Solutions of West Central Texas, located in Snyder, has received some incredible news. As part of a $5 million grant for Texas workforce agencies, the Scurry County Agency will be given over $500,000. The program, which this money will help to implement, is planned to assist the unemployed with honing their job skills. Participants in the newly funded project will attend a 2-week employability boot camp, and after graduation, they will then be placed in on-the-job training or given a 6-week subsidized internship. For more information about this grant or the boot camp project, you can contact the Workforce Solutions of West Central Texas by calling 325-574-1739. In obituaries, Lucille Lou Norris, 82, of Big Spring, died Sunday in a local nursing home. Funeral services will be held at 10 a.m. this morning at Midway Baptist Church, with interment to follow at Trinity Memorial Park. Arrangements are under the direction of Nally Pickle and Welch Funeral Home. KBST News Time is 8:08 a.m. We'll return in just a moment with more news, sports, and weather right after this.
Better buy from Benny, better buy from Benny, and you'll get a better buy.
Now, when we say you'll get a better buy at Benny Boyd, we mean it. But what exactly does a better buy mean for you? That's simple. It means Benny Boyd will beat any dealer's price in Texas on a new Chevy, GMC, Buick, or Cadillac vehicle. And he'll even deliver it right to your doorstep free of charge.
I know better where to buy, so don't you even try to make it worth the drive.
That's right. You can buy your new vehicle over the phone at a guaranteed lower price and have it delivered at no extra charge. And we have over 800 cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from. You'll find the perfect vehicle at the better price. And that, my friends, is what the Benny Boyd Better Buy is all about. So come get a better buy from Benny Boyd in La Mesa at 2713 Lubbock Highway.
Better buy from Benny and you'll get a better buy. That's Benny Boyd, y'all.
Find new roads.
KBST News Time is 8:09 a.m. Coming up this week, equipment fittings are underway right now for Big Spring High School's football team at the Athletic Training Center. Today, sophomores are being fitted until 4 p.m. this afternoon. Seniors and juniors already had their fittings earlier this week, but if seniors or juniors who missed their opportunity to get fitted will have 2 more chances this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow is the freshman fitting. It will run from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Athletic Training Center. Also coming up today, the Big Spring Country Club is holding a special event, the second of their Community Golf Days for the summer. Community Golf Days are your opportunity to be a member for a day at the Country Club. A $49 plus fee gets you on the green with a cart rental, sleeve of golf balls and range balls, and even includes lunch. There are 2 other Community Golf Days scheduled to take place this summer. They will both be in August. As we head to this weekend, the Heritage Museum is holding a special event, a reception and awards ceremony to cap off their summer art classes, which are still underway. The ceremony will take place 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon and will feature completed art projects from the 5 art classes they have held over the past week. Also on Saturday, the YMCA of Big Spring is hosting a special event, a dodgeball tournament. All proceeds from the tournament will benefit Relay for Life. Registration begins at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. Each team can consist of up to 10 people. Registration fees are $6 per person, and the first and second placing teams will win a special prize. The deadline for nominating producers to the Farm Service Agency county committees is a day away. Nominations must be received by August 1st, that's Friday. In order to be eligible to serve on an FSA county committee, a local producer must be eligible to vote. For more information, you can check out the Farm Service Agency's website, fsa.usda.gov/elections. The Crossroads Young Marines are preparing for another boot camp. The 4th boot camp of the year for the association will be held in August, and sign-ups are available now. For more information or an enrollment packet, you can check their website, crossroadsym.org, or contact Carrie Rodman at 432-517-4791. And this weekend, the North Side Movement is putting together a special event, a flea market at Bert Andrews Park. The flea market will run for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. They've already got several special booths lined up with everything from fresh produce to free haircuts. For more information, you can contact Natty Saldivar with the North Side Movement at 432-466-5363. In sports, in Major League Baseball, Texas 2 teams had rough evenings last night as both the Rangers and the Astros were defeated in the second games of their series. Both teams had victory on Monday night, meaning that both series are now tied up. The tiebreaker games will take place tonight, the Houston Astros against the Oakland Athletics, the Texas Rangers taking on New York Yankees at 7:05 p.m. this evening. You can tune in to the Monday 1490 KBSD AM for full coverage of that Rangers game. And in the minor leagues, the Midland Rockhounds are in the same boat as their Major League counterparts. They, too, had a loss last night after a victory on Monday. The Rockhounds were defeated by the Frisco Rough Riders 6-2, tying up not only their 3-game series, but the season as a whole, as both teams now have the same number of wins in the state of Texas minor league. Tonight's conclusion of the game will not only decide that 3-game series, but also decide who is in the lead as the number 1 team in Texas. First pitch will be at 7:05 p.m. In weather, today's high is estimated at 101 degrees, tonight's low 70. Mostly sunny skies for the rest of this week. There's a slight chance we might catch a bit of precipitation, maybe some rain, possibly some thunderstorms. And we have a cold front expected to blow in tonight, dropping tomorrow's estimated high down into the upper 80s. This relatively cool weather could stick around for as long as a week. KBSD News Time is 8:14 a.m. This has been Alex Huddleston with your KBest Radio Group News. Coming up on Community Calendar, it is the final Wednesday of July, and that means it's time to ride some fence with Marge Carpenter. But first, we've got the Sound of Texas, brought to you by the Churchwell Agency.
This is Tumbleweed Smith. A visit with Wendy the Witch in a moment on the Sound of Texas.
Hi, I'm Joyce at Chotewell Service. We appreciate all of our customers, large or small, from wells for home use, oil field, or many of our other services. We've added lots of equipment to serve our customers with continued good service. For your large or small water well needs, call us, Chotewell Service, 393-5231. We're the best in the business. Now, you have a blessed day.
Laureen Ragsdale was the librarian in Humble for 22 years.
We'd take the children that was fixing to fail, and we'd have a reading class and teach them so they could go on to the 2nd or 3rd grade. That was one of the things. I had a story hour once a week. We checked out books. I'm telling you, we did as much as some of these big libraries do out here.
Before Humble had a library building, Laureen took busloads of youngsters to the county courtroom and told them stories.
I was Winnie the Witch. Some stories I'd read from the books, some I'd make up. Some I'd tell about somebody here in Humble, some old-timer or something.
Laureen is working with the museum in Humble now. One item on display there is a letter from Sam Houston, dated 1835.
He's asking a person here in Humble to build him a knife, and he's got the dimensions of the knife. He wants it so long and so heavy and so wide. It's in his handwriting.
Laureen moved to Humble from Houston in the 1930s. Her husband was transferred there to manage a grocery store for A&P.
I thought I'd come to the end of the world. I just couldn't see myself moving down here because there was no rent houses, there was no apartment units, and you just had to wait until somebody moved out of some old shack the house and then take it. It was bad. It was nothing to rent. People didn't have apartments back in those days.
She moved into a brand new house in 1939.
Paid $3,000 for that house. Never will forget it. Well, when I got through building it over, I've got a pretty nice house now, brick home with 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen. And I've lived there all these years. We were 2 blocks from the school, 2 blocks from downtown, my husband's job, and 2 blocks from the library. So we had no reason to move out in these new additions that were coming up. We too comfortable where we were.
Now she likes Humble.
Oh, you couldn't get me away from here. No way.
Laureen Ragsdale of Humble. I'm Tumbleweed Smith with the Sound of Texas.
We're sending you back to the future.
Your child's future depends on their education, and Nazarene Christian Academy continues to provide you with a choice in that education. With 2nd grade coming in 2014, registration is now open. They provide a BECA curriculum with certified loving Christian teachers. For more information, go to newhopebigspring.com. See what a difference Nazarene Christian Academy can make in your child's future.
Established almost 80 years ago, the Parks Agency is one of the oldest privately held insurance firms in the state of Texas. Hi, I'm Mike Richardson. Having lived in Big Spring all my life, Big Spring is my hometown. I encourage the growth we are seeing, but I also want to keep things local. We represent a variety of different insurance companies so we can compare coverage and price to give you, the customer, the absolute best possible value. So instead of being tied down to one insurance company, come by 900 Main and let us show you the difference of going with an experienced local independent agent.
DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. How does your typical Texas mom stop the afternoon munchies?
Mom, we're hungry.
With a quick stop at DQ. From great DQ desserts like the S'mores Blizzard to classic dip cones, shakes, sundaes, and more. For the best treats and eats in Texas, there's only one place to stop. DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas.
You're listening to KBST AM and FM. It's time for the KBST Community Calendar, a daily program that focuses on the issues and events that affect our community.
Good morning. This is Alex Huddleston, and since it is the final Wednesday of the month, I'm joined in the studio by Marge Carpenter. Morning, Marge.
Good morning.
How are you feeling this morning?
Well, I'm about half mad because I'm so late getting on. You're running off the mouth too much.
Oh, man.
We got to have a trivia question. I suppose we have a prize, a book or something. Anyway, whose house was the Heritage Museum before it was remodeled into a museum? Whose house was it? And you have, and I won't say what year, but what decade was it dedicated in? Was it the 50s, the 70s, or the 90s? Give me a call.
I never would have guessed a museum used to be a house.
It was a house. Built up all around it and added to it, but it was originally a house. One of the older houses in Big Spring. Give me a call if you know whose house it was, And if you don't, what's the number they need to call?
The phone lines are open. Call 263-KBSD.
I love that button. It's 263-5278.
Let's give us a call. Whose house was a heritage museum before it was remodeled into a museum? Give me a call. I know there's people out there that know that. If you don't know the decade, at least call the name of the whose house it was. I bet you know. Think about it. You know, it's getting ready to be glider time. It's coming up August, and we always have the gliders love Big Spring because Big Spring's been good to them, and so they have their contest here year after year after year, and it's good for the community, and it's wonderful all the people that work with that and help with that. They have meals together, and you know, it's a fun thing to do if you get out there around noon on a day that it didn't rain or anything and watch that. It's interesting. I've always wished I was so darn old I'd even paid to go up one of the things. I've done a lot of foolish things in my life like that.
Oh, you're never too old for adventure, Marge.
What was that? Anyway, anyhow, somebody call in. Whose house was the Heritage Museum before it was remodeled?
I think we may have a caller on the line. James, are you there?
Hello?
Yes. Was it Dorothy Garrett's house?
Well, that's awfully close. Go back a little bit further in the same family.
Okay, thank you.
But that's awfully close. Somebody call in.
Oh, man, it's practically giving it away now.
Well, if you're thinking at all, somebody call in a little bit further in the same family. Anybody out there? Everybody asleep? Okay, here we go, baby. Anyway, you know, August is a month that we don't have much going on. It's we do have the gliders. That's always a big thing, and then it kind of just boo. There's nothing. It's time to get back to school, and so people get in the car and rush off for a last-minute vacation. It's time to get back to school, and so they have all kinds of things going on, like tax-free weekends and all that kind of stuff. Everything's school, school, school. And school starts now on August 25th, both at the college and the public school here. And that's awfully early. It used to be after Labor Day, you know. Now they just get going and then take a holiday for Labor Day.
You know, I think we have a caller on the line. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Who's...
Hey, was it Dora Roberts' house?
That's right. You got it.
Right.
You got it. It sure was Dora Roberts' house. They built it. They lived out on the ranch, but they built that house because their girls were going to be in school, and so they brought it in so they could be in town for the girls to go to school. Of course, one of those girls was Dorothy Garrett, so whoever called a while ago was so close to being right, but it's actually Dora Roberts, and it's named the Dora Roberts Museum. And it was dedicated in the 70s, actually in October of 78, and it's been had a lot of history. I have a little history here that I wrote years ago about the Dora Roberts oil field, which was the reason all that money came into that family, and it was kind of appropriate to bring that up along with the museum. That field was during the FHE Oil Company completed a shallow well, and the depth was 1,864 feet on Mrs. Dora Roberts Ranch in Section 156, Block 29, NNW Railway Survey, 2 miles southwest of the Chalk Pool. Now, you remember where Chalk was. Chalk's out there on that loop around from Forsyth back over to Interstate 20, and there's nothing left of the community of Chalk except a flagpole that used to be in front of the post office. And across the road over there was where North Chalk lived, and she used to buy a new Cadillac every year, but she never did turn in the other one. She just put it up on the side of the hill. And so there were a whole bunch of them sitting out there for a long time. They finally hauled them off. But when they hauled them off, they found one of them was full of Christmas presents, wrapped and everything, addressed to people that had never had been delivered.
Oh, wow.
And when she changed cars, she just left the gifts in the car and put it up on the side of the hill. Interesting section out there.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for calling in. What's your last name?
Hanby.
All right.
Oh, right. Hey, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
That's an old buddy. All right.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Chris, if you just stay on the line, we'll be back in a moment, and we'll tell you how to come get your prize.
Okay. That well was only a small producer and good for about 20 barrels. But due to its location on the southern edge of the structure, it signaled the beginning of huge production on the Roberts property. When it was first brought in, it was the largest production in Howard County, and credit was due to Owen and Sloan Oil and the Magnolia. Well, most of us never heard of Owen and Sloan Oil, but we've heard of Magnolia. But it was interesting. Now, Ms. Roberts was interesting. She never changed. She got rich, but she still came to town and sold eggs and butter. I thought that was fascinating. She kept right on wearing the same kind of clothing and attending the same church and selling her eggs and butter. She was a good businesswoman and much talked about. There was one hoax pulled on her, but that'll be up for another program. She recovered from that, but she was smart. She was born Dora Nunn in Brown County, and she had married a young local man, Andrew Griffin. He was killed in an accident with a horse in a horse fall. And then she married again another rancher, John Roberts, and she adopted the two Griffin daughters, Docia and Eloise. And then, of course, Dora and they had Dorothy, who turned out to be Dorothy Garrett. And Dorothy Garrett had, we still have Sue Partee, her daughter, and now her daughter's daughter is getting ready to have a big wedding. So the family is very much involved in Big Spring, and we love them for that. Following completion of that small well, Owen and Sloan brought in a shadow producer good for 30 barrels a day near the center of the section. And they did very well with their number 2 Roberts, and in February 1928, they had more strikes on the ranch, and among the most successful was one named Sherman Merhorn, Oil Company number 1, the first of 5 good producers on the company's 80-acre tract. With the output of oil increasing rapidly, they ran into transporting problems, and to supervise voluntary controls, the Texas Railroad Commission appointed a committee consisting of R.T. Piner, Ms. Roberts, I.G. Harmon, and Frank Pickerel to run things. Now, we know who R.T. Piner was, don't we, out there? Anybody want to call and tell me, or I'll be glad to tell you?
Well, I believe we have a caller on the line.
All right.
Josh, are you there?
Are you there?
I'm here.
All right, who is this?
My name's Josh Sigmund.
Uh-huh.
And I don't mean to change the subject, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
When the base closed down, you covered it, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, my grandfather was stationed out there for forever, and I wanted to know how you felt when the last planes left.
I cried.
You cried?
I cried. I wept. I went to all those hearings, and the maddest I ever got was when this guy from Washington said that the reason they were having to close it is there was urban encroachment by the runway.
Yes, ma'am.
There was one old Chinese restaurant out there that we could have torn down in 30 minutes. It made me so angry that I got up to walk out of the meeting, and I thought, no, I've got to stay and report what happens, and I sat back down. I've never been so angry about many things in my life. It was such a wonderful thing to get to cover the things at the air base. I had a special pass where I could get in, just throw it out the window and get in, much to the horror of their public relations man. He was a fellow named Captain Risk, and he didn't like me at all. When they had plane crashes, and I would go charging through the fence with a photographer to get pictures of it, well, he'd run along backwards in front of me, trying to keep me from getting in. And he even called a press conference, talked to all the reporters in West Texas about how he was in charge of who got on the base. And the colonels told him no, they were in charge of who got on the base, and they had given me my pass, and they weren't going to take it away from me. I love the colonels. Captain Risk didn't get promoted the last time he was due for promotion, and so he got out of the Air Force. And I was so mad, I wrote in my column, well, of course they needed to get rid of him because he would have become a major risk.
That's very true. But, you know, my grandmother's always said that I was as good as Joe Pickle.
Oh, Joe Pickle he knew more history about this town and loved this town better than anybody I know. He was one of my heroes.
Yes, ma'am. My grandmother knew him and said I was right up there with him.
He and I often locked horns about how to cover something, but he was very good to me and a very good friend. And he moved up to Austin to retire in the last part of his life, but he kept writing me letters, encouraging me, and he was one of my real heroes. Big Spring was darn lucky to have Joe Pickle. Jake Pickle, his brother down in Austin, was a long-time congressman. And I guess he did a lot of good for Austin and Texas, but Joe Pickle did more for Big Spring than anybody I know. Thank you for calling in.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Have a good one.
Appreciate that. All right. Where was I? Oh, R.T. Piner.
Oh, Piner.
R.T. Piner. I thought maybe somebody want to call in and tell me who that was. Who that was, if you know Dr. Rip Patterson, who just retired as a dentist, has taught dentistry out at the college, his grandfather was R.T. Piner, and he ran the First National Bank here, president, and he was very involved in a lot of the early events around Big Spring. He was a real hero. Of course, we loved him because he was Presbyterian in our church, and he was the first of 5 generations of his family in our church, down to the Pattersons and their children and grandchildren. One of the really fine families of Big Spring. Speaking of fine families of Big Spring, I have been so upset this month over the death of Barbara Hall over in the parking lot of the hospital at Midland, where it just, every time I think about it, I get myself upset again. But I wanted to do a brief memorial to Barbara Hall. You know, Barbara Hall's husband is from the oldest families in Big Spring. His grandfather, great-grandfather, was really involved, and then his grandmother, Dorothy Hall, she was a national delegate to the Republican convention when Wendell Willkie was running that long ago. And of course, Harold Hall was the father-in-law of Barbara, was on the city council for years and years and did so many things for Big Spring. And to have this tragedy, for anybody, is terrible. To have this tragedy for this family just has torn me all to pieces. I can't talk about it hardly without crying, so I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot more. But Barbara, we will miss you, and we're sorry. And I don't know why things like that have to happen. Please don't ask me why. Please don't ask me why. Okay. You know, there was a holiday they could have put into August, but they didn't.
Really?
Well, VJ Day. The war actually ended in August. And we celebrate the end of the World War I, and we celebrate the end of the Civil War, and we celebrate the end of everything, but we don't celebrate the end of the biggest one of all, World War II, which was in August. And we didn't proclaim a holiday. Now, my favorite picture to remember VJ Day was that wonderful picture of that sailor holding the sparks up in the air.
Kissing the nurse.
They were kissing and celebrating and happy. And there's a statue in Sarasota, Florida of that. And I've been down there with couples, elderly couples, that evidently were from World War II would stand in front of that statue and have their picture made.
Oh.
It made me think about pictures. And one of the things I wanted to do today is ask you to call in and tell me the name of a newspaper picture that has always stuck in your mind. There's pictures in the newspaper every day, but now and then you have one that you never forget. Now, I want to hear from you. What picture sticks in your mind that you've seen in the newspaper? I don't want one from a magazine. I don't want one from television. I want to know what picture sticks in your mind from a newspaper. I have one. It's that terrible one in Vietnam where this child was running down the road just on fire. Just a terrible, tragic picture. I can still see it. What picture sticks in your mind? It could be from a little paper or a big paper. It could be a sports picture or a war picture or what kind of picture. What picture do you remember?
If you'd like to call in, don't forget our phone number is 263-5278.
The phone lines are open. Call 263-KBST.
Please do call in. Please do call in.
And I believe we have a caller on the line. Josh, are you there?
Yeah, it's me again.
Okay, what you gonna tell me?
Well, I've seen the newspaper of President Kennedy be assassinated, and that picture always sticks in my mind.
Oh yes. Which picture in particular? Remember?
It was on the day he was assassinated.
Oh, okay. And that car. Show that picture of that car going down the street with Jackie climbing on the back of it. Yes, he does remember that. There were a lot of pictures from the Kennedy administration of that assassination. The one where Jack Ruby shot Oswald is a picture that people remember, and the picture of the funeral with the little boy out
Little Jack
saluting in the street.
Yes, ma'am.
As the coffin went by is a picture that people remember. Thank you, Josh.
And wanted to tell you something right quick about that. You know, when President Kennedy was assassinated,
yes,
he was put in the finest casket ever in Dallas, Texas. And when they took him off of Air Force One, he was in a pauper's casket.
You're kidding.
No, ma'am, they don't know what happened to the $1 million casket he was put in Dallas, Texas.
I never had heard that. Well, I'll be darned. Huh. That's interesting. Well, thank you. Okay. Anyway, anybody, what newspaper picture do you remember? Think about it. I can think of one that's real famous from World War II. I'm surprised somebody had called it about. What picture do you remember? Or do you remember a sports picture that was particularly outstanding for some reason? Or any kind of a picture? Maybe a picture of your grandmother or the paper. I don't care what it is. Do you have a picture you can remember? Give me a call. I think that surely somebody out there remembers something.
Well, you know what, Marge? Let's give them a little bit of time to call in. Let's take a real quick commercial break. How's
Okay, that'll be fine.
All right, we'll be right back here on Community Calendar. We'll be talking some more with Marge Carpenter, Ride and Fence.
Whether you're selling or purchasing real estate property, you want to receive the kind of exposure that leads to faster closings and better prices. When selecting a real estate agent, you can count on Sherry Key and her agents at United Country Heart of the City Realtors. They will work hard for you. It will be worth your time to contact Sherry and her agents by calling 714-4555, or you may visit their website at heartofthecityrealtors.com. That's United Country Heart of the City Realtors in Big Spring.
The Heritage Museum in Big Spring is proud to sponsor Ride and Fence with Marge Carpenter on KPST. The Heritage Museum gift shop carries all of Marge's books, as well as books, CDs, and artwork from other locally talented folks. You might be surprised at what you'll find at the Heritage Museum gift shop. Kids will enjoy the variety of toys, and all ages can enjoy the paintings, photography, knickknacks, and of course, the tasty treats. The Heritage Museum gift shop is a great place to find something unique all year round at 510 Scurry Street in Big Spring.
The great folks at the First Presbyterian Church helped to make this broadcast possible. And hope you're enjoying today's Ride and Fence with Marge Carpenter, sometimes referred to as the Forrest Gump of Big Spring. Marge has been there, done that, met them, and written books about it. The First Presbyterian Church at Runnels and 8th Street would like to invite you to their service every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. If you can't make the service, tune in to KBST AM 1490.
Whitmore's Plumbing, how can I help you?
Well, my husband fixed our plumbing, and now I can't get the shower to come on. And when you flush the commode, the sprinklers come on.
Sounds like you need some serious help. Good thing you called Whitmore's Plumbing Service.
So we won't have to move?
No, Scott Whitmore and the staff at Whitmore's Plumbing get the job done right, whether it's your drains and sewer or your hot water heater and gas line.
Great. Now I hope he doesn't try to fix the lights.
Ma'am, you'll need to call someone else for that. But when it comes to plumbing, all you need to know is Whitmore's Plumbing Service, 263-2302.
Now, let's get back to Community Calendar on KBST.
Welcome back to Community Calendar. It is the final Wednesday of July, and that means we're riding fence today with Marge Carpenter.
And we just brought some news in that it's raining outside.
Well, I don't know if we can officially say it's raining, but I did feel a few drops of moisture as I was walking into the radio station. And I did note that my purple sage is in full bloom. So once again, as a listener once called and told us, always trust the purple sage.
That's true. One of the ones I would mention this time was Bill Battle, you know, the barber that retired, an amazing man. He retired at 77 as one of the oldest barbers in Texas, if not the oldest. At one time, he was started out and was featured as the youngest barber in Texas at the age of 16. And I would like to salute Bill Battle and all of his haircuts and all of, oh my goodness, the history and conversation that must have gone in his barbershop. It's just incredible.
Well, Marge, I had a picture I wanted to share with you. You probably remember, of course, you know, when you were talking about pictures, a lot of people remember the tragedies that happened because those things stick out. Like, of course, I remember the 9/11 and the picture of the plane flying into the building. That was, very poignant. But I was trying to think of some positive pictures. You probably remember of just in recent history, on the front page of the Big Spring Herald, the photographer captured the moment that Mayor McClellan congratulated Todd Darden for being promoted to city manager. And those two guys were so happy. And that picture, I don't know who the photographer was at the Big Spring Herald, but they captured that moment of pride and joy, and it was awesome.
Well, I'm glad, but I sure don't remember that picture.
I remember the tragedies.
I hate to admit it, but I don't remember that picture. The one I keep thinking somebody is surely going to mention, I thought 911. For goodness sake, that was a picture that would just blow your mind. I hope you brought us some rain. I hope you're right that it's going to rain.
I believe we have another caller on the line here for you, Marge. Dave, are you there?
Hello?
Hello.
Who's this?
This is David.
Okay, David.
Well, it's not really a picture from a newspaper, but I remember when I was about 11 or 12 years old, back in the late 70s, early 80s, I was on my dad's farm-haul tractor, and we just come from this man's hayfield, and you got to go down the hill, cross a little wooden bridge on the creek, and then climb the hill on the other side. Well, I was pulling one of them old square balers, and we had an old truck tire that was on it, and it was flat. It's not round like the implement tires are. And it hit the washout hole on the edge of that bridge, and it's just like it happened yesterday. I remember falling off in that bridge, tractor and all, in slow motion.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And it was propane. It was propane.
That is a memory you would forget.
Hey, it's just like it happened yesterday. I can still see it every day. I broke the spindle, messed up the steering wheel, tore the umbrella up, and I came out, and I went to running down the creek just hauling it. My dad had to come chase me down. I was so scared.
But at least you're still with us.
I am. The good Lord was watching after me that day.
Thank you. Thank you for that one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, I like the mayor and the city manager, and I'm glad they got a happy picture of him. I don't know how I missed that. But if she says it was that good, it was that good. But she watches stuff like that real closely. I just have a hard time looking at any political picture. Even more pictures are better than that. The sports pictures, a lot of good sports pictures are just real. And we've had some real good sports pictures recently at Big Spring. We've had a photographer that's awfully good at catching good sports pictures. I've been impressed with that. Of course, for those of you that lived here as long as I have, remember Manny Valdez and all the wonderful pictures he used to get. I have one of my favorites of his hanging in my living room. It's colored butterflies, monarch butterflies, covered a tree out in Gale. And the monarch butterflies come through Big Spring every year on the way to Mexico at a certain time of year, and they always stop on the same trees. There's one over off of, I don't know, it used to be Jack Little's house, his backyard, that there were always butterflies. So there's one out in Gale, there's several of them. Do any of you have a tree here in Big Spring that the butterflies congregate on every year? Give me a call. I'd love to hear about it. I think I'd like to stop right there, and I always want to mention some country place, and this time I'm going to do Gale, since I brought up Gale with butterflies. Everybody knows that Gale is named for Gale Borden, just like the county. Well, everybody doesn't know that. But the Borden County is Gale. It was the first name of Borden, and of course Borden was named. But anyway, and they have, I don't know whether they still do, but they used to have a herd of buffalo out there.
Really?
Yeah, and they had a big event where they'd have a buffalo days and have a parade, and they had to kill so many a year to keep the herd healthy. I don't know why. And they'd serve buffalo burgers. And they were pretty good. I was shocked. I was about halfway to eat one of them. Did any of you ever eat a buffalo burger? Why, let me know, you know. There was, in the early days, there was a notorious outlaw out there, Bill Cook. He was as sought after as Billy the Kid, and he made the mistake of hiding out on a ranch in Borden County. And a sheriff named Tom Love, who was very early sheriff out there and notorious, found out and followed him all the way into New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And arrested him in a snowstorm. And he returned to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and turned him over to hanging Judge Parker. And the sheriff was supposed to get a $500 reward, but he was never paid after following the guy. So they're still talking about that out at Gale, how they cheated their sheriff out of his money after he followed this sorry outlaw all the way into New Mexico and nailed him. It's fascinating. Hey, don't you remember a picture? I keep not mentioning the one that always sticks in my mind as one of the most memorable pictures in World War II. Think about it. Think about it. It has something to do with the flag.
Oh, now, yeah. Heather over there, just at the exact same time, she jumped up and said, oh!
Somebody call in. What picture is it that stands out for World War II that has to do with the flag? Surely somebody out there knows. Give me a call. There. Maybe that's it. I hear a phone ringing. Okay. Well, VJ Day was special. And any of you out there remember where you were on VJ Day? You got to be old on this one. You got to be old. You remember where you were on VJ Day? Okay.
Now, what does VJ stand for?
Victory in Japan.
Okay. I think we've got a caller on the line.
Okay.
Diana, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Diana.
Was it planting the flag on Iwo when they gave me Jima?
Was what? Did you, I think you got it.
Iwo Jima.
Iwo Jima, yes, that's right. That's a marvelous picture. That's a news picture that just makes you feel so patriotic when you see it.
Yes, I was in Washington a few years ago and went by there at night, and it looks like they could talk to you.
It's just incredible. I'm so glad somebody finally remembered that. That was bothering me because that's one of the pictures that I remember the most.
Me too. Well, I enjoy your program, Marge.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know all of the ones in that picture, they have made a statue of that statue
I've seen the statue.
And it's in post offices, in the local post office of each man that's in that picture. The reason I know that is one of them was a Hispanic boy from Weslaco, Texas. And I was in that post office, and they have a statue there of that picture. And they told me that everyone that is in that picture has a statue in their hometown at the post office.
Oh, wow.
Of that picture. Of course, there's a statue in Washington, D.C. as well.
That's the one I was thinking of. I've seen that one.
But it's meaningful to me that they have it in the hometown of the guys that actually were up there getting shot at. And I think part of them were killed, or probably all of them were before it was over. But I saw the one in Weslaco. I had never heard that anywhere, but there's one, and I don't know who put it there, whether the government did, the post office, I suppose, did. But I think it's really memorable that each one of them is remembered in their hometown. That was the picture, as far as I'm concerned, from World War II that stuck with me the most. Of course, the atom bomb picture, where we'd never heard of the atom bomb, when suddenly that big mushroom of smoke up there is a picture that you remember as well. I don't know. VJ Day was, you asked what VJ stood for, Victory Over Japan. VE Day was in April or May, Victory Over Europe.
Oh, right, because there was both Germany and Italy.
Yeah, we beat Europe first, and so a lot of them got to come on home. Some of them got sent on straight to the Pacific, bless their hearts. And I had some good friends, one especially, that was scheduled to go into, they were going to try to invade Japan on the beaches. And they set off the atom bomb, and the war was over. And he said, people talk about how it killed so many people and we were terrible. He said, I couldn't help but be glad, because I was going to have to go in and help invade the beaches. And he said, personally, I was glad that American Marines were going to get killed, that it was the enemy. But he said, people get thinking about and forgetting just how it was in those days. It was tragic. I was in college when the atom bomb fell, and the war was over. And I had just gotten up. I was walking over to my first class, a physics class, and this professor of chemistry came. I was the editor of the college paper at that time, and he came running out to me and says, Margie, did you know that we had two boys that were secretly over in Tennessee helping to build the atom bomb? I said, what's an atom bomb? Why am I so glad we had two boys helping build the atom bomb? I said, what's an atom bomb? Oh, he just went all to pieces. But anyway, they did take top science students out of a lot of colleges and secretly put them together to work to help build that atom bomb, which, you know, there's so many things that happened that we don't know happened or how they happened. It's just incredible.
Well, Marge, I'm afraid that's not all the time we've got for today.
Oh, dear.
Thank you so much for tuning in, though, and be sure to come back next week.
Please come back next week, next month.
Yeah, next
end of August. That's when all the sports start to get going, and we're going to beat everybody in football this year.
And we'll talk all about that during the next segment of Riding Fence with Marge Carpenter.
You've been listening to the KBST Community Calendar on KBST AM and FM, on KBST.com, and on cable channel.